Yes, guys, welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose podcast. Today we have another very special guest. We're slowly working our way through the iBattle roster already, but today we're sitting down with Sweeney. How's it going, man?
Yo, it's going great, man. How are you?
Yeah, all good, man. Thank you very much for taking the time to come on. I appreciate it, and it's an episode I've been looking forward to. But with yourself, man, so you've been battling for a few years now, probably about 4 years or so. Is that correct?
Yeah, for about 4 years.
Yeah. And how was it that you got into battle rap originally then?
So like way back in the day, I was going down the YouTube hole and found like old WRC videos and like it's the cliche like story like found Thesaurus and Ilmac versus like Hami Ham and Piff James. I was like, this is crazy, and like binge watched all those. Uh and then like caught the WRC '07 and kind of followed it from there.
Nice, nice, man. Yeah, the WRCs and stuff came a lot later to me. To be fair, like I've been a battle rap fan now for about 11 years, 12 years or so. But the first battle I ever saw was one of the first ever Don't Flop battles. So I then had to go back through the archives of like Grind Time and the WRCs and
Right.
stuff. But it was it was a lot of fun to do, man. Some of those battles are insane.
They're great. Is that like when they were in like the subway station? I remember that one. That's like one of the oldest don't flop ones I remember.
Yeah,
They're like,
that was so. The first battle was O'Shea versus Lego for me, which was I think their fourth event, and I want to say it was their first or second event in an actual venue.
okay.
Uh, it looks like it was filmed on a potato. Like the footage is horrendous. You can barely see anyone, but it's yeah, it's a good battle if you ever get a chance to watch it. Apart from the footage, but no, it's good, man. But for you, like, what led to you getting involved in battle rap then? Because obviously it's quite a long way down the line that you chose to get involved.
Yeah. It's so I would watch like all the old like I stumbled on like Grind Time and like the old King of the Dot shit and like you were saying like the Don't Flop events. Like I used to watch all that shit. And I was actually working in Staten Island and I worked with this dude Scream who used to battle on Grind Time. And I was like, wait, I know you, dude. And like he took me to an event. I went to the event where they did Soulcon and Fresco, and they did. I think that was like Roan did like a 2-on-2. I don't know, dude. I don't remember the whole card, but I remember Fresco and Soulcon was the big main event. And like I went there and I was like, yo, this is sick. And dude, fast forward to like, I don't know, I get 4 years ago, dude, I was like wasted with my buddy at a bar. And I was like, yo, I could do that shit. Like I could do it. And I saw the dude Scream had posted somewhere that they were doing tryouts for Beast Mode New York. And I was like, yo, I could do that shit. So I hit this dude up wasted. I was like, yo, set it up. I want in on this. Like, I'm going to be great. Like, I could do this. I've watched it forever. And then, like, Lex hit me up and I was like, oh, fuck, I really have to do this now. Like, I can't tell him I can't do it. And then I showed up and, like, the tryout went really well. And, like, they asked me to come back. And then that's kind of how it started.
Cool, man. No, it's good. And jumping in
Yeah.
the deep end with some Dutch courage, I like it a lot.
Yeah,
But
dude, it was wild. Like, I don't know. I figured it would help. Like, this is when I started working in like really nice restaurants too, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to like talk to servers about food and like customers. So like the way I rationalized it to myself was like use this as a way to get better at public speaking, So like I wouldn't be as fucking scared in a restaurant talking to people. So that was how I kind of convinced myself to go through with it.
nice, man. I like it. But yeah, there's it's interesting looking back through your battles as well, because for me, I wasn't aware of you until like the first battle I saw of yours was the 2-on-2 you did with Eddie I,
That
um,
was,
against Dago and Monster Leakness.
yeah,
So I kind of went back through your older battles after that point, and your first battle was against Derms on Beast Mode. Is that right?
that was the first. That was the second battle ever, but yeah, first on camera.
Right. Okay. Nice. And after that, your next few battles were really interesting in the sense of they've now all kind of come through. Yourself and your opponents have come through as like some of the top guys on iBattle. I mean, you've got Dale Denton, Louis Valentine, and Wes Crav all within like a close time frame. Like, were they people that you were aware of at that point, or was it a case of you all started around the same time and just kind of
Um,
faced off against each other?
but Dale and me started roughly around. He started a little bit earlier. He might have had like he battled Louis, and I think he battled this dude more or less before me. So I was probably his third, and he was my second. And like honestly, dude, I wasn't sure if they were gonna hit me back up after the Germans battle because I was like, I don't know, maybe like I didn't do that great or whatever. And I was like, all right, I have to like go at someone to get another battle. Like just so I was just like going at Dale on like the Beast Mode Facebook page because I was like, yo, I'm gonna bother this kid until it gets some traction and I'll get another battle. Honestly, that was my whole thing with Dale. So like I kind of sparked that up from just like talking shit on the internet. So that was that one, and then the Louis one. That one was it was a surprise for the card. And Louis was like, he had battled Dale on Beast Mode, but he had been around for so long. So they kind of just like matched us up to do something special for the card that night, which was cool. And then the West one was just Lex coming up to me and being like, "You want to do this?" And it was like the first iBattle event. So I would have battled anybody.
No, I get it, man, and it's been cool to see though. Like you've come up against some amazing opponents and had some great
Yeah,
battles.
dude.
So
I
it's
got lucky
great.
getting some of those out of the way nice and early.
Definitely, yeah, yeah, I do agree. But is there was there anything planned for you for the rest of the year? Like obviously everything's a bit up in the air at the moment, but was there any other battles you
Um,
had lined up at all?
Well, I was talking to Lex about, like I really wanted to. Lex has talked about traveling, like kind of taking iBattle on the road a little bit, and that was something I was definitely interested in. So I always hit him up, and I'm like, yo, if you got something out of town, like I definitely want to be on that. Me and Anderson, we did the battle on the app. Was actually supposed to happen in North Carolina around this time. So since we obviously couldn't lock it down because of everything, we just decided to do that for the app and still make it cool. But besides that, now, dude, I was kind of just gonna see what happened, what came out of this year.
No, that sounds good, man. And yeah, I mean, for me at the moment, iBattle is pretty much the league that I'm following the most. Like I love it, and it's just there's a combination of reasons really. Like the events look amazing. I love watching just events that look like fun time events, if you know what I mean, as opposed to like your URL events where everyone's screaming at the top of their voice or whatever. But like I've said this on a few episodes. So I live in Cardiff in the UK, which is like South Wales.
Okay.
And last year we had a Don't Flop event here where the headliner was Kinal versus a guy called Raptor from Ireland.
Okay.
And I spent most of the day with Kinal, and Kinal had not long been over to iBattle at this point. And
Right.
he said, like, if any UK guys ever make it over to iBattle, don't request an opponent and just let Lex pick it and do his thing
Yeah.
because he has this ability to form the perfect matchups for every event, and I can't remember the last iBattle upload that I didn't enjoy, kind of thing. It's just great to see.
He's a fucking evil genius, dude. He's a fucking scientist. It's incredible what he comes up with.
Definitely, yeah, I'm a huge fan, and like I think that they've revolutionised battle rap in the sense of the app is the best app that I've used in this. Like the URL one was terrible in comparison. Um,
Really? I don't have
awful.
never used the URL app. Obviously I have the iBattle one, but I never used the URL one.
I had it for about 3 weeks, but I got rid of it because it just seemed pointless at the time, to be fair. But
Really?
yeah, but the iBattle one is amazing, and just I loved how Lex uploaded the recent Irish Broken Resolutions 2 event on the pay-per-view there as well, and that was good to
And dude,
see. And
he's so good at like having Rapist full on it and then having like no coast on it, and like I think he even has a couple like beast mode exclusives that came out on the app before they came out on YouTube. Like I feel like he made the app to kind of bring everyone together and like make it like a team thing, you know, like kind of how it feels at the events but on a bigger scale. You know, like
yeah,
like you said, you go to the events and like dude, everyone at those events is like it's like being at like a big party, you know, like it's and I think that the way that we feel at events is the same way he's kind of having it on the app, where it's like, you know, like everyone can contribute and like put some cool shit on there and like get recognition for being good at what they do or what they did, you know?
definitely. And that's, I think the reason I kind of respect that so much with iBattle is because it's the way that the UK scene needs to go.
Right.
Unfortunately, over here, like since for the last few years, we've had about 5 or 6 different leagues throwing on events within a really short time frame of each other, and it's been quite
Right.
hard to keep up with what battles are happening where. And like for people who aren't a battle rap, who are just getting into battle rap, it makes it difficult for them to follow. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
I like what Lex is trying to do and just bring everybody together, and everybody kind of thrives off battle rap together. It just makes so much sense. But
Right.
like for me, I've always said I think the UK need to put together like a UK battle rap platform, like the forum that they have on Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
all leagues upload their battles together on that platform. But unfortunately, I don't think it's ever going to happen. But yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
definitely. And a lot of the league owners don't get on over here, which doesn't help either. But
Right, right. It's just like I feel like at one point, like Don't Flop was the best stage for like new fans to come in. Like King of the Dot was great. It's obviously great, and so is Smack is great. But I feel like at one point, like Don't Flop was like the best like gateway to get into it, and then you would work through Don't Flop and then kind of see what else you liked after that. You know?
yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, there was always, whatever your preference is style wise, there was always different battles on each Don't Flop event, so it was accessible to everyone in that sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Don't Flop, things didn't go to plan there, and they stopped doing events for a long time,
Right.
and they're in a bit of a rebuilding process at the moment. But
Mm.
there's been a lot of controversy again today with Don't Flop. Unfortunately, they're
Today.
yeah, they recently had an event over here where they had a title match and an on beat title match.
Mm-hmm.
And the on beat title match was basically, it was, so the current champion is a guy called Press One, who makes like great music.
Okay.
And he battled a guy called Lefty, who's been on
I know.
Don't
Yeah, I
Flop
know.
for many years. And basically, they agreed to do a 3 round on beat clash where it was meant to be 24 bars per round.
Right.
And I think Press One did 30 bars in the first round.
Oh Lord.
And then I think he might have done about 40 bars in the third round.
Doesn't have to be difficult. Like, it doesn't have to be this hard. You know, just write what you're supposed to fucking write. I hate it.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's arguments. But the problem for me is like, I was there for the event and I didn't notice that Press had gone over the time at all. And
Mm-hmm.
based off the material, I felt that even if you cut his rounds to 24 bars each round, he'd still have taken the decision 3-0. Like he
Right.
was much better. But basically, Don't Flop got a lot of stick for it, and then were holding back on uploading the battle. So Press One, who has music to promote, was saying he had the file and was going to upload it to his own channel, and Don't Flop then released it this morning and put a statement at the start of the video saying, due to unprofessional comments, we have stripped Press One of his title, and not even contacted him first to let him know about any of it. So it's been a very strange morning, and it's all kicking off in the forums and stuff like that. But
another mess.
Yeah, big time. And us now going back and forth on Twitter with just Press One's like fan base, and they're all hurling abuse at each other and stuff. It's just
the worst thing you
see.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Standard UK battle rap politics, unfortunately. But yeah, man. For the UK though, sir, you said you've been following the UK scene for a while as well. Then,
yeah.
I have nothing to support this, but I feel like there is a UK or a UK and Ireland versus iBattle event on the horizon somewhere. I think it's just there's so many eyes on iBattle from the UK since people like Red Flag and Real Sick and people like that have come over and given us some of the best performances from internationals that we've had in years.
Yeah.
Who interests you UK wise?
For me in the UK, dude, like, okay, so I definitely don't know who's like active and not active. Like, so correct me if some of these guys aren't still doing it, but like I was always a huge fan of Lego. Calcium Kid was always one of my favorites. Bowski, I was always a big fan of Bowski. Dude, what was the guy's name? I'm sure that he doesn't battle anymore, but it would be cool. It would just be like one of those like cool to see him come back. He battled not Flex Digits. He battled Madness in the movie reference battle. I don't remember his name though. Psychosis Holocaust, right? That was his name.
Yes, okay.
Dude, I always thought he was sick, and that would probably be like my number one, but I'm sure that he doesn't battle anymore because he's from like Backpack.
Yeah, unfortunately not. He's actually a movie director now.
That's fucking fantastic. That's great, dude.
He spent quite a few years putting together like a horror film. I've not seen it myself, unfortunately. Right. I want to say it's called like Section 13, maybe. I'm going to have to Google it, but it's
that's tough.
Yeah, it's meant to be really good as well, from what I've heard. But
to be a battle rapper with movie references to being a movie director, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's cool, man. He's a very good artist and stuff as well. So he designed some merchandise for Premier Battles for the Apex event where everything kind of went wrong last year. So he designed a New Jersey Twerk t-shirt and stuff, which, to my understanding, even though Twerk didn't turn up, it sold really well.
Yeah, of course.
I did actually buy one myself because just the design on it is amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, he's not battled, I think, for probably about 7 years now. He had a battle booked maybe 4 years ago. He's from a city up north called Sheffield, and they don't really have much. It's a very big city, but they don't have a lot going on there in terms of gigs or battle events and stuff.
Right.
And they randomly threw an event there and booked him versus Arsenal.
That's so dope. Did it happen?
No, it didn't, unfortunately. And he, from what I know, he turned up to the venue and randomly headbutted Unanimous as well. So
I love that.
It was an eventful one, I think. But yeah, I don't think he has any interest in returning.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't.
Unfortunately, but Calcium Kid is another one. He hasn't battled for about 5 years, but I
Christ,
think
I didn't know I was
he's.
this far. I didn't think I was this out of the loop.
I think he would still battle. He hasn't for a long time, but I think if he was offered something that interested him, he would. Yeah. Apart from that, I think the UK scene has changed a lot since then. A lot of those guys aren't active
But I
anymore,
know, yeah,
unfortunately.
dude. Yeah, like obviously, like who, like I would love for me and Eddie to battle like a Shuffle T and Marlowe. Do we deserve that? Absolutely not. Would we get smoked? I mean, like probably. But I feel like I don't know. I obviously from what we just discussed, I'm pretty out of the loop on who's popping right now. Like I had never seen Maverick before he battled Real Sick. He was great, but I'd never seen him before. So I'm a little out of the loop on who's up next when it comes to the UK. Is Quill still around? I'd battle Quill.
Yeah, Quill. So I might catch some hate here, but
Who cares? Just do it.
Quill is still battling.
Okay.
He's kind of specifically battling for Don't Flop, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And his last two battles have been pretty poor.
Really?
Yeah, he battled a guy recently called Twisted Pennies in Leicester, and he was losing quite badly, and then decided to. He like ripped Twisted Penny's hat off mid round and like threw it into the crowd, and he was just being a fucking idiot. To be fair,
He was salty because he was losing. It
yeah,
sounds like.
yeah, I don't know if he's still kind of got the love for battling anymore. He got brought into Premier Battles and was making some big demands in terms of what payments he expected and things like that, I believe. So he's
That's not. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Well,
he is still about, so that could happen. But I mean, in terms of the guys from like the Psychosis Holocaust kind of era, you've still got Unanimous is still battling. Censor is now battling again.
I love Sensa.
Yeah, him
Yes.
versus Shocks the Rebel happened maybe 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago, which was actually uploaded on King of the Dot, and it is incredible. That
So
was
good.
his like big
That was his
return.
comeback.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was great in that. Sensa's always been great. I followed Sensa when he battled Paul Rich at World Dom 2 or 3. He
two, I
battled him at
think.
one of them.
Yeah,
I remember one of them was Paul Rich and O'Shea, and one of them he battled Sensa. And then I remember, dude, it was like way back in the Don't Flop days when they did North versus South. I couldn't tell you who he battled, but I remember watching that battle over and over again. That's like a fucking 7-year-old battle or whatever. So it's like doesn't hold the weight now, but at the time I was like blown away.
yeah, yeah. He's always been. I saw a YouTube comment years ago on one of his battles, which sums Censor up very well. Someone said Censor is an absolute middle class, horrible, nasty, racist prick. Bring him back. We need someone to hate again. And I was like, that's so true. I love it. Can you hear me, man? Everything's frozen.
And making storylines, where you wanted to see him battle people because of what he was saying.
Definitely. Can you hear me again, man? Sorry, something crashed then.
I saw something flash, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, something crashed, so I missed some of that. But yeah, Sensor's great. And apart from that, there's not too many people that are still active. O'Shea does the odd battle now and again.
Yeah, he's been doing the online like around the world battles or something like that. He video battled Dallas Cash, and then he just video battled someone else. I couldn't tell you who it was, but
He did, yeah. He just battled Henry Bowers from Sweden.
that's what it was. Henry
Yeah.
Bowers is another one. I love Henry Bowers.
Yeah, he's great. He's again not really on battling anymore. I don't think. I think his last one was him and Nils and Skills actually did a 2-on-2 against Shufflety and Marlowe in Germany.
That's dope.
Yeah, but apart from that, I've not seen him for years either. So
yeah, I'm clearly out of date with overseas. I clearly have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of who the longest serving like active battler is. Really, I think it'd probably be Sol.
Yeah, I remember Sol when Sol sucked when he wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, this what's the dude's name? P? Is it P Soldier? Like, is he still around?
No. He would be if things were ran better. I believe. Like, I think he's.
Well, you just interviewed.
I did, yeah, and he's definitely more focused on music. He's he did an on-beat grime battle in Russia last year,
right.
which has like blown up. It got hundreds of thousands of views in the space of about a month. So
for him,
yeah, and he's now back and forth to Russia a lot. He makes a lot of music with Russian artists and stuff, and he's become really popular over there. So I think he's more focused on music at the moment. He's doing a project with Luna C and a couple of other people as well, which will be very big. So
it's dope. Yeah, at that point, fuck battle rap and go do that instead.
Definitely, yeah. He was saying when he went over to Russia, he obviously got paid to go over there and stuff, and he then met a local like music producer who he was only meant to go for 2 or 3 days, I think he said, and this producer ended up like rebooking his flight for him and giving him somewhere to stay and like sorting him out with anything he needed money wise and keeping him out there for 2 weeks just to work on music and stuff. So
you can't ask for anything more than that, dude.
No, he's definitely met some good connections over there. But no, I mean, in terms of the iBattle versus UK event, I'd love for it to happen as well. It's kind of top of my list of what I'd want to see from when battle rap's going again. But there's also just so many great matchups that can come of it. I don't know if you're aware of a guy over here at the moment called LS Dean.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on. It keeps freezing on my end here.
Don't worry about it.
Where did I cut off then?
I told you. You asked me about LSD, and I told you I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay. So he won the first Premier Battles Academy. So, like kind of you've got Premier Battles and then the Academy events, which is kind of like a tournament for newcomers.
Okay.
And he won that and has then kind of been one of the most active battlers on Premier Battles since. So he's battled like Matter, Briggsy, people like that, and he's had a couple of internationals in the pipeline that unfortunately never happened. I think he was meant to battle Mr. Wavy. I'm not sure who else, but he's pretty much the British Louis Valentine.
So, all right, good. That's a good comparison. That's someone you want to be compared to.
Yeah, and they would make a lot of sense. And like, personally, I'd like to see Red Flag go against Sol.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. Did you catch the Broken Resolutions 2 pay-per-view at all? So the Irish event.
I watched most of it. I didn't watch all of it though, to be completely honest with you.
Did you see Visual versus Carney?
Yes.
So I'd really like to see Visual go up against Jack Casserole.
Visual's great. Visual just did. I got more familiar with him because of the tournament. He was in the tournament. Yeah, he's good. There's a lot of great.
Yeah, it'd be great to see. And I know that like pretty much every big name in the UK wants to battle Real Sick at the moment as well. So
yeah, I get it. Real Sick's insane. And he went out there and just like showed out. Like he did really, really well.
100%. Yeah, he was phenomenal at that event. I was there for that as well, so it was great to see him live. But he's
great live.
He's going to be a star, I think.
Yeah, he has tons of good energy. I think he's going to go really far in the whatever it is, Smack Madness or Ultimate Madness or whatever it's called, tournament that they got him in now.
Definitely.
Him and Jay the Nightwing is going to be super crazy, but I think he's going to low-key smoke Jay, to be honest with you.
I think so. I think if Jay can pull it off and can beat him, I think the winner of that battle goes all the way.
Yeah, they're on the same side of the bracket as Rubando and Gunpowder Pat, though. That's the only thing that worries me, because those two guys are very fire as well.
Do you know what? I don't think I've actually seen Gunpowder's battles. I've seen Rubando and he's good, but
Pat had like a PG, but it was at We Go Hard. I forget the guy's name he battled, but he was great. Like he had everyone freaking out. He was shaking the room. He's really good, and he's very I think Pat would do great on iBattle too. He does a lot of different things. He's not just, he has good humor. He has good angles. He has good punch. Like he kind of touches on every strength that you want to see in a battler. I think Pat would hold it down anywhere, to be honest. And I think that his humor and his angles is something that he could use against Rubando, who's very, just haymaker, punch, haymaker. That he could actually upset Bando because of the other stuff he could do. I feel like Bando's very one-note.
Right. I'm going to have to watch his stuff after this because I don't think I've seen him. But I'm a big Kid Chaos fan. He's in that tournament as well.
Yeah.
I think
tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I think Bad News is in there, right?
I think it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. I've got you again. Sorry, man, it cut off there. I don't know what's going on tonight. It keeps freezing on me for some reason, but
nah, it's all good. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but it's weird. I think that Ace Amin and Bad News are even in the bracket. It doesn't really make sense to me, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Ace Amin, I think he might kind of have to prove himself again in terms of main stage battles, just because he
got smoked by Swamp.
Yeah,
Swamp's not even good. Yeah, you got smoked by someone who's not that great.
Yeah. I thought he was going to completely walk away with that one, and it wasn't very good at all, to be fair to him. But I'm, to be honest, I don't follow URL that in depthly. Like I'm not.
And Pat, because like Pat comes and supports iBattle events. Bando has been on iBattle a couple times. Obviously fucking Sick is iBattle, and like Jay the Nightwing has like some really great performances. But besides those like six, I don't know a lot of the other people in the tournament, to be honest with you.
No, me either. And like, yeah, I'm very funny with URL in the sense that I'll watch who I like, but if I'm not a big fan of someone, I just don't bother watching it anymore. Like I'm I get a lot of stick for this, but I'm not a Tay Rock fan whatsoever.
Yeah, he's cool. Like he's good, but like, yeah, I don't go like I don't rush home and like watch a Tay Rock battle. You know, like, and I feel like I'm in the same boat with you. Like, Goods is great. Like, Goods is good. I get why people like him, but like, I won't run home for a Goods battle
No, me either.
or
And
a chess battle, like, or a JC battle. Like, I feel like the only like people on URL that I'm like, I gotta watch this as soon as I can is Hollow and like honestly like Jerry West. I think and Rum. Those are the four that I'm like this. I need to watch this now. But other than that, like it's like I'll watch it if I have time. If I don't have time, like whatever. You know?
yeah, no, I'm with you, man. The thing for me with Tay Rock is his performance is great. Don't get me wrong. He knows how to control a stage, but his material is wank.
It's so hit or miss, and like sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah,
You know, like I feel like it really showed when he battled Pat. Like that, like all right, this guy's cool, I guess. You know, like he's all right. You know, I feel like Pat really made him look. Pat really showed him that like I don't know that like to me like Pat is like the goat. You know, like
yeah,
Pat's like you know like kind of like does it all and he does it all really well. And I think he really showed when he battled Tay Rock, like, yeah, man, you do this one thing and you're like cool at it, but like I'm gonna do all these things and everyone's gonna realize you don't do all these things.
yeah.
You know, so I think that was like a big wake up of like Tay Rock not being as great as everyone thinks.
Yeah, so URL did their event in London last year, and like that was where the battle happened. And I didn't go. I was actually on holiday at the time. But one of my mates, well, someone that I know from Cardiff, who he's not a battle rap fan whatsoever, but he's a URL fan, kind of thing. He's one of
Right.
those fans. He went to the event and came back and was trying to. I'd watched the pay-per-view by the time I got home, and he was trying to persuade me that Tay Rock 3-0'd Pat Stay, and I was like,
Yeah.
man,
No
fuck
way.
off. Like, what are you all about?
No way you can think that.
He's like, to him, Tay Rock is like number one on the Mount Rushmore, and I'll just never get it.
You got to talk to him then because he's wrong. You know, you got to have a sit down conversation with him.
Definitely. No, but my URL kind of watch list is similar to yours. I'm also a really big Glue Easy fan.
I like Louise good.
He was meant to be on iBattle, right? Against, was it Sean O'Shawn?
He was supposed to battle Sean O'Shawn twice, and like I don't know what happened. I'm not informed on why it didn't go down, but kind of sucks that it didn't. Because like Sean is the one person I think in iBattle that like just needs his look. Sean's incredible. He's so good,
Yeah,
and I think that Louise would have been a really great match for him to kind
definitely.
of show everyone what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, man. I like Sean a lot. He's someone else that's going to be coming on the show on Sunday, I think.
Sean's great, dude. I remember being there for him in Real Sick. I had just battled XQZ, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is the best battle I've ever seen in my life." Like Sean is so good. He's so smart, but yeah, he just needs his one look. I think to really get him over the hump, and then I think he's gonna get calls all the time to go other places.
Definitely. Yeah, I completely agree. But in terms of yourself, man, like you've done well.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere around 15 to 20 battles now. Is that right?
Yeah, I couldn't give you an actual number, but yeah, it's definitely in that ballpark.
And what would you say is your favorite battle so far?
On both sides, like overall battle.
Yeah, just your favorite battle to have been a part of.
I think my personal best performance is Mulips. I think I watched that one the most. Like when I go back and like kind of see everything. The Mulips battle sticks out to me. My favorite back and forth is either it's probably me and Shaw or me and XQZ. It's probably one of those two.
Yeah.
If I had to. I really love the one with me and Apex in beast mode that I did. But like the footage is kind of fucked, so take points off for that. But like XQZ was a great one because like XQZ is another one that's like he's insane. He's a genius. And then me and Shah, it was kind of sort of last minute, and like Shah's like one of my best friends, so it was fun to do that. And like it was one of the best. I think it just came out really good on camera. That's like another battle. I think that if you're trying to get someone into it and you want some humor, but you want some like cool punchlines too, like I think me and Shah is a really good battle to go to.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think if I had to pick my personal favorite of yours, it would be the Shah battle as well. Actually,
Yeah.
I love that. But XQZ as well, I'm a big fan of his. I'm actually going to be sitting down with him straight after this. So
really,
yeah,
he lost in this too. XQZ is great, man. He's probably the only person who like I wasn't super familiar with, and then I got booked to battle him, and I watched his battles, and I was like, holy shit, like this guy's actually fucking hilarious, and he's incredible, dude. He's so good.
Unfortunately, I think that happens a lot. I mean, I became aware of him through he actually battled over here. So on one of the Don't Flop birthday events, they did like the main stage battles were on like the Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Friday night, they did like a mini event for like 50, like in like a 50 capacity venue before.
Right.
And XQZ actually battled Craft D on that, who is now the Don't Flop champion.
Oh, Craft D's the champ now? Good for that guy.
Yeah, he won the title in February. So the same event where the On Beat title match that I mentioned earlier happened. Crafty beat unanimous for the title as well, and he was phenomenal.
Oh, that's great. Good for that guy.
Yeah, but XQZ battled there, and I'd never heard of him before, and like saw Crafty versus XQZ on the card, and was like, "Who the fuck is this?" kind of thing, like American flag next to his name, and I was like, "Where's this come from?" But then saw him battle, thought he was good. And then rewatched some of his older stuff, and like some of his No Coast performances are incredible, man. He's an amazing.
They're great, dude. He's so smart, dude. He's really smart. All of his title matches, like the Isaac Knox one, is great. I think he battled like Hindu Rock, and that was great. But I watched him in Red Flag. To me, is like quote unquote GZ of all time. I know it like ended up going main page, but it was a GZ when it was booked. Him in Flag to me is incredible on both sides. And then to anyone that's never seen him versus Black Academics is like vintage, incredible, smart XQZ, dude. Like he's so good there. So when they booked me versus him, I was really stoked about it, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And it's another great matchup. And I'd like to see XQZ on iBattle more as well. I think he goes down well there, and
he's
good to see.
He's been booked. I mean, stuff has happened. He was supposed to battle like Ellipsis, and then like that whole event kind of got scrapped. And then I think he was booked for something else before this all happened. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that him and Lex have a good relationship where they talk a lot. And like I know he's one of those people that like Lex always wants out here. So I would be pretty confident in saying that when all this shit is over, he'll probably be back on iBattle.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to see it again. And it's a shame about the Ellipsis battle as well, because that would have been amazing.
It would have been great. It's perfect. It's like they're both like very funny, sarcastic, but obviously both super well written. When Ellipsis came out here to battle Homeschool, a lot of people didn't know who Ellipsis was. Like if you're in the know and you're like a big battle rap fan, you know Ellipsis. But if you're kind of more of like a casual. I'll show up at events and see how it is. You don't really know him, and like he was just absolutely insane versus homeschool.
Yeah, they both were, man. That's one of my favorite battles in recent years, to be honest. I love that.
It's and I feel really bad for homeschool because like in theory, if you look on paper, he should have smoked whoever he battled in his last whatever 3 or 4. But then like you just get these freak of nature performances versus he put who's Louis, Ellipsis, Dago, and there's one in between that I don't remember. And it's just like, geez, like someone give this fucking kid a break. You know what I mean? Like he should be like he should be crushing everyone, but he's getting the best writers in the world, best performances every couple months. So
Definitely. Yeah, man. So I am slowly working my way through the iBattle roster at the moment. Like I've had, as well as yourself, I've had Benji Reckless, Jack Casserole, and Homeschool is coming on as well. I've got Lex is going to be coming on soon.
Right.
Nonch is coming on soon as well.
Be the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
Looking forward to that. So yeah, man, I'm getting there slowly, but quite a lot booked in for the future. But it's been a lot of fun, and
great, dude. And there's so many characters in iBattle, which I think it's like what makes us such a great league to follow and be a part of. Like if you fucking follow the iBattle Facebook page, you're gonna get so much shit, like so much like I don't want to say like WWE shit, but like you get everyone, like especially people like Nanj or myself or Lex or whoever. It really is like the WWE, but in the best way possible. Like
yeah,
everyone has like a shtick, and everyone's like a character. Like you really feel like it's like I don't know. Like I feel like when you become top tier in battling, you're top tier, and then that's it. You're out. Like you don't need to like follow up. Like I don't know. Like I hope I'm making my point right. You don't need to like social media or like face. You got it, man. You're top tier. You're fine. You're out. You know what I mean? Like everyone loves you, and you're gonna get your plates, and you're gonna get your money, and everything's great. But like I feel like I don't know, the community that Lex built with iBattle. It's like it's something that you want to follow. It's like your favorite TV show. You want to see what happens with this person and what happens with that person, and what they do and where they end up. And it's like it just adds another layer to like, yeah, everyone's a great battle rapper, and like there's a lot of talent on iBattle, and there's a lot of talent on every league, but it's like of it that makes you want to follow iBattle and like want to keep up with it and like see where everyone's at.
No, I definitely agree, man. And I know what you're saying, definitely. But it's it's just a lot of fun, man. And the only continent that I've never been to is North America. So I'm hoping to get over for an event this year. My plan's to go to Town Business 3 this year.
Okay.
And then if it kind of runs in time with an iBattle event, I'll fly to New York afterwards and catch an event there, hopefully. But
dude, you got it, man. You have to. The events are so great. Like it really is like a big fucking party with battles going on. It's really something. It's really something special. I've been to like other events, and like every event's great. Every event has good battles, but it's kind of like, okay, I feel like an event is defined by like what happens in between battles. Like the event where me and Eddie did the 2-on-2. It was like the best. Honestly, it was like the best event ever, dude. It was the coolest shit because you had so many cool people in one spot. And we're all there for the same. That was when they did Megadeth and Jack Tripper, Jeffrey and Goods, Flag and Bubba Ford. Dude, it was like literally the best event ever. And like, yeah, the battles were great and that's cool. But like everything in between is kind of what makes what takes an event to the next level,
Yeah, no, I understand, man. And my plan is definitely to get over for a Titan event as well. It's got to happen.
I just have a feeling that when I don't know anything, when all this is over, fucking Lex is gonna fucking explode and like throw the craziest shit. And like I'm really excited. I hope I'm like a part of it, and like I'm really excited for that. I feel like the first one back is gonna be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. But
Yeah.
in terms of like your battles, then do you have a least favorite battle of yours?
Um, yeah, I probably have a couple. I think any battler will tell you that like it's like you have battles and like you prep for them and you're like this is gonna be fucking great and like I got this down guy is good and like whatever, and then you have them and you walk like as soon as the circle kind of breaks, the battle's over. You know the camera's off and like everyone's like, "Oh man, you killed it!" Like you have those battles where you're like, "No, I did it." Like that battle sucked. You kind of just know, I think, when it's over. As far as my least, obviously, like my Excel battle is not my favorite because I threw a whole round in the trash. So that's the Excel battle is definitely not my favorite. Um, the Dale battle's not my favorite only because like we were both really new and like we didn't have it figured out. So like that battle's like not my favorite. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite. Like I stumbled in it and then like just watching it back and like especially seeing me and Dale now. Like me and Dale now would be a million times better. And the same with me versus Louis would be a million times better now. Cause I don't think any of us really had it figured out. Like we knew what we were doing, know what we were doing, if that makes any sense. Um,
Sure.
so those two always stick out, Excel and Dale, to me as like um I think I would probably just say those two. The SM battle I did in Canada was cool, but like we both fucked up a bunch of times. But like it's still a very entertaining battle. So I guess I would just stick with Excel and Dale as like the two where I'm like, you don't have to watch those ones, like if you don't want to.
No, and I think Essam just has that ability to make anything entertaining. Like
He's
it,
great, dude. He's the man.
Essam during that fucking Dunch versus Mike P battle just had me in stitches.
He's so good at like shit like that, dude. He was great that whole event. Like, if you watch any battles from those events, like, and he like does like a little ad lib or says something, it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, Dungeon Mike P is definitely his crowning jewel of that event.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I don't know if you've seen there's like this 2-on-2 freestyle battle on Ruin Your Day that was filmed
Oh
in.
yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things ever. Like I've shown people that I've tried to get a lot of my friends into battle rap and none of them like it, but I've shown them that and they've just been in fucking stitches with laughter. So
Yeah.
it's great. But and
He's great, dude. He's just naturally great, and like he's a cool dude too. Like SM is the I met Warren. I was like, this guy's so sick. SM's great, dude. He's like perfect for battling. He's made for it. He's really good at it. Yeah, he's great.
definitely, yeah, man, I agree. But he's I was watching these like bots to Battle of the Z tryouts recently as well, and
Oh god, I love them.
I think he steps in and freestyles for him and Reverse Live both step in and freestyle against this guy, and I love it, man. He's so just naturally funny, I think. But
Dude,
yeah,
the best bots one. Oh, what was it? What's this dude's name? The best battle. My favorite battle to watch in the world is it's a dude from bots. He's trying out. They did a fucking they did a thing on him. Oh, Kilowatts, that's his name. It's Kilowatts versus like Young Jesus, and it's the worst best battle I've ever seen in my
yeah,
life.
I've seen that. Yeah,
It's
I love it.
my favorite battle ever. Because like yeah, watching good battles is cool, but like watching really bad battles is actually the best part of this whole thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if you haven't seen them already and you ever get chance,
Mhm.
there is there's an event where Shuffle T and Marlowe both do solo battles against two guys that were essentially like memes in UK battle rap terms. So like Shuffle T battled a guy called Anton Murphy who was on like Big Brother on the TV.
I've definitely heard of Anton Murphy from something. I don't know what, but I know of him.
Yeah, he's so he was on Big Brother on the TV, and he told everybody on live telly that he was a rapper when he clearly wasn't, and he turned up and he basically just tried to emulate Daylight style and tried this really like just strange writing process, and it went horrendously, and Shuffle
I love it.
clowned him through the ground. And then Marlowe battled a guy on the same event called Eek, who he had like a bit of an infamous breakdown, where a load of the so Don't Flop did this thing back in the day called the In Your House tour.
Okay.
Where Mickey Worthless and Enigma battled something like 15 times over the space of a week. And they just went from like random place to random place and put on battles in like college halls or like in little villages and stuff. Whoever would pay them petrol money from one place to the next, they'd go there and just put this one battle on. And it's incredible. Like they go to this random house in like this small city in England where it's all these like really clearly mentally unstable people that have built a wrestling ring in their garden, and they're putting on like wrestling events out of their house and stuff. Like it's the strangest thing in the world. But at the end of it, they do an event in Manchester where Enigma and Mickey Worthless battle for the final time, and it's judged.
I love it.
And they all crash at Eek's place after, and he has this absolute meltdown because they're all like taking the mick out of his book collection. And he's just been a meme in battle rap ever since, and Marlowe just tears him apart. They're both
like watching good competitive battles is fun, and like I get it, it's cool. But like sometimes watching people get smoked or like overall just bad battles is so much more entertaining, and it's so much better, you know.
Without giving anything away, because this part of the battle isn't actually on camera, and I don't know why, because it is the best moment I've ever had. But Eek pulls out like a tube of lipstick in his third round, and he has a bar where he says something about "you helped me to make up my mind," and as he says "make up my mind," he covers his entire forehead in lipstick. And
yeah, that's weird, dude. That's weird, but like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
The whole room is just completely laughing at him, and he's just stood there with a bright red face, like not knowing how to act. And it's the best thing ever.
You gotta think, like, what were these people thinking when they wrote some of this stuff, or like decided like that's the idea I'm gonna go with, you know? Like some people do such weird ass shit in battles, and you're just like, what was your fucking thought process when you were like, this is it, like this is gonna make people react in a positive way, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's they're two great car crash battles that are definitely worth
the best kinds of battles.
Definitely, yeah. But like for you then, so again, you've been to a ton of events now, but what for you stands out as the best battle that you've seen live?
I think honestly, I think it's probably Sean O'Shawn and Real Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like trying to think of something that could come close to that. Flag and Jables was great because of just like the build up behind it was like, you know, it's like Flag who's like solidified himself as like kind of like top guy here, but like Jables is like, you know, incredible. Like at that time Jables was just, I mean, he still is incredible, but like the Jables, like, well, how far can he take this train was like at an all-time high. Flag and Eddie for me is probably right up there with Sean O'Shawn and Sick, because like all of everything that happened behind that, and like, you know, like Eddie's like one of, if not like my best friend. So like all the times that like a flag thing happened, you know, I would hear about it, and it was like all the build up to that, and then like it finally was happening. Like literally, like those two guys could have just recited the ABCs 3 times each, and I would have freaked out. You know, like just the build up to it was so great. You know, so I don't know. It's probably between those two. I'm probably gonna say Sean O'Shawn and Real Sick, because like it just came out of nowhere. Like I had never seen Real Sick at that point. And like Sean was like, I think I saw Sean live one time before that, and like Sean's energy is great, and like the way he rhymes things together, it kind of has that like thesaurus-y like snowball effect. You know, you're just like, how long is this gonna go on for?
Yeah.
And like, you know, that I think Sean O'Shawn versus Real Sick was my favorite battle of last year. So it's got to be the best battle I saw live. Yeah, dude, like Sean O'Shawn and Real Sick is incredible. And if like no one's seen it, you should be watching it, because it's so good. You know, there's no stopping it. Two very similar styles. Two guys that do that style really well. You know, it was great, dude. That's probably my favorite live battle I've seen.
No, I like that, man. That's a good answer.
Oh, and as an honorable mention, I got to put in, and this actually could be my favorite too. Fucking Shaw G versus Mulips is probably one of my favorite battles ever. It's the most entertaining battle that's out there right now that's come out in the past year. 100%.
Yeah.
If no one's seen Shaw G and Mulips, you need to go fucking watch it right now. It's one of the best battles. I think it's one of the best battles in like the Lex era of iBattle.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. And yeah, I mean, I actually reached out to Mulips about coming on the show, but unfortunately he says he's retired from battle rap, so.
Is he? See, I didn't even know that. Dude, like, Mulips is one of those people that goes on the internet like once every 6 months. You know? So like you're just waiting for a long time to get to hear anything from him. I hope that's not true, because that sucks if it is, but I mean,
yeah, unfortunately, man, he said he quit battling a few months back because he just doesn't really have the time. And he said he's just keeping up with battles is like a full-time job, let alone writing for one, which
he's right.
Yeah.
He's definitely Mew is one of the best entertainers that we've had, that iBattle's had, I think. Like, dude, like he's one of the people that you have to see live to like get it. And like I remember hearing that like back in the day, and I was like, that sounds stupid, but like it actually makes a lot of sense. And like Mulips is a perfect example. He's very entertaining on camera too, but like in the building, like there's a point in him and Shaw. I don't know. Have you seen Mulips versus Shaw?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
There's one part in like his first round where he just screams and the whole place goes fucking crazy. And there's like no better testament to Mulips and like the energy he puts off than that. Like just standing there screaming and everyone just goes fucking crazy, you know?
Yeah. I would have absolutely loved to have seen Mulips versus Canal as well.
Yeah, he would crush. I think he would crush in the UK. I think he would be a fan favorite out there. I think he would do super well. But yeah, he just matches up well with a lot of people from the UK and from anywhere. You know, anyone who's entertaining versus Mulips is gonna be great. Which is why him and Shaw was perfect.
Definitely, man. And when Canal first kind of announced that he was going to iBattle, I think I automatically assumed that it would be Mulips.
Right.
And again, I wasn't aware of Nonch at this point, but that also just made so much sense. I loved it.
Well, but that's where Nonch got big, I feel like. That's where like Nonch kind of blew up, where everyone was like, oh shit, Nonch is cool, you know, like Nonch is sick. And it's like cool to like Nonch. Because at one point it wasn't cool to like Nonch, you know, like he was like, you know, he had the couple issues with Lex where he was like booted from the league and then he wasn't and then he was. And then like I think in between, well, he was booted the first time, and then he came back and he battled D Hayes, and like he fucked up the end of his round. So it was like, oh, it's not cool to like Notch, like like he can't even finish a round and he's getting kicked out of the league, and then he got kicked again, and then it was like very uncool to like Notch and like support him, kind of, and then he came back and then he battled Cannell. I don't know if Cannell was his first battle back, but like, watching him versus Cannell, and he had like, I don't know, he like Notch did a very good job of making it cool to like Notch and like making his own style kind of cool, because it wasn't cool at first, so the Cannell battle was great for both of them, because I know Cannell got a lot of new fans because he crushed it, and then Notch also got a lot of new fans because it was okay to think not,
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Nonch has obviously just battled Ted from Australia as well, which
great battle.
Yeah, I was so happy to see Ted head over there as well, because he's amazing. But
I'd only seen Ted one time, because Eddie actually put me on to Ted. Ted battled at that event that you were talking about with Sensa and Shocks the Rebel, when they had all the King of the Dot guys go out there, where Chrome battled and Eddie battled and Peanut battled. I don't know. I don't remember who he battled.
He battled Cannell.
Oh, okay, perfect. That works well, because Eddie had put me on to Ted, and I think I saw Ted's battle a different time. Did he battle like A-Ward or something, or Jims?
He battled Jims, yeah, in Australia.
Right. He battled Jims, and I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Like he's definitely not bad. He's good. And then I saw him versus Cannell, and I was like, oh, this battle's really good. And then when Ted finally got booked for iBattle, I think a lot of us that were in the know of overseas battles were like, oh, okay, this is going to be really good. But it was also a great test for Notch. It's a great battle.
Definitely. Yeah, I love that battle. And the Cannell battle, I've not seen Ted versus Nonch yet. I need to get round to watching that, but
Ted versus Notch is great. Ted definitely, like, there was a lot of like, who the fuck is this guy in the Ted battle, but like in a positive way. Like Ted was killing it, and everyone's like, who is this? Like, so Ted definitely got a lot of new fans and supporters just by coming out here and battling Notch.
Yeah, man, definitely. And there's another guy from Australia who, so as far as I'm aware, the only like overly active people in Australia at the moment is Ted, and then a guy called Vega.
Is Vega Vega's the one that is Vega battle A-Ward? No, right? Is he the one that battled A-Ward? He was on that event. I can't think of who he battled.
So Vega was also on the same card as Ted and Cannell and Shock Sensor, where he battled Dialect.
Okay.
He's also battled Frankie Fraser in the UK as well. And then
right.
Vega, I want to say Vega's battled Chilla Jones.
Mm. Oh, Vega was on a World Dom. That I know him from there too. He battled none on a World Dom.
Shit, yes, he did. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good battle too. But he's battled Chilla Jones and Shotty P.
Yep.
Yeah. He's amazing, and I think he would go down really well on iBattle as well. And then obviously Dundee is amazing.
Dundee, I remember. Vega. I'm watching. Did Vega battle? I'm like looking through his shit right now. There was what was his name? There was another Australian guy that used to battle. Forget it. I'm never going to be able to find it. Not Cursor. I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know. Forget it. Anyway.
So for me, I'm kind of like I watch the Australian battles if I'm aware of who's battling, or if I hear that it's a good battle. So I've not seen too much, but Vega's not been battling too long. I think he's only done about 10 battles.
Okay.
But he battled a guy called LJ, who is now the champion over there.
Okay.
And off that battle, got booked to battle Shotty P and then Chilla Jones. And then I think the year after that, I don't think he did a battle in Australia at all. He battled twice in the UK and then in Canada. So it was he kind of blew up very quickly, I think. But he's someone who I've not seen him battle for a while because I don't think there's been an event in Australia for quite a while now. But he'd be great on iBattle too if they get the chance. But
yeah, I feel like a lot of those guys' styles lend to iBattle very well. You know, like Ted and Cannell being perfect examples.
Yeah.
Even what's his name? Most Prob, right?
Yeah.
Even when Most Prob came out here, granted he had like a weird situation, but his battle went over really well too.
Yeah, Most Prob's another like kind of fan favorite over here. He's been doing it for a long time, so
he's hilarious, and he's someone I would love to see come back with like a match that was set up for, and like because last time someone no showed and he battled like Smile Beanie instead. Like I would love for him to come out here with this is who you're battling, and like that battle actually happens. I think he would crush it out here.
Who was he meant to battle originally then?
I couldn't even tell you. I have no idea.
Right. No,
I remember watching him versus Smile Beanie and being like, damn, like you could tell he's cutting out so much stuff because, you know, obviously who he's supposed to battle isn't here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because he's hilarious as well on his days.
Yeah, he's great. I think when Cannell was supposed to battle Nanj and I was researching Cannell to like see, you know, how good he was, I watched him versus Most Prob and I was like, oh wow, both of these guys are really good and both great and they're both going to do really well out here, or they both would be really, really good out here.
Yeah. Most Prob actually back in the day, I think probably came up with one of my favorite rebuttals I've ever heard when he was battling Soul and Soul called him like Moses Lux because I think his name might be Moses. And within a couple of like seconds, Most Prob's rebuttal was, I know everything he's got to say against me. Yeah, I'm Moses Lux. What the fuck are you going to say, Loch Ness Lee? And I was like, that is amazing.
Dude, it's so good, man. It's so I really like all the UK talent, man. I feel like they would just crush it on iBattle and out here in general, but like on iBattle, and it would be a fun event if that ever happened.
Definitely. I've just checked as well. He was meant to battle Captain Live.
Oh, Captain Live is good, but he has a bad habit of doing dumbass shit.
Right. I don't think I've actually seen him before, to be fair, so I'm not
He's had a couple. He's mainly, I think he's Coliseum, which is in New York. He battled some dude like Young Skills or whatever on one of the iBattle cards, and the dude I think his name is Young Skills, did like a fucking scheme about like birds, and he did like a couple like it was a 1-round battle, and his whole round was basically 3 schemes in a row.
Okay.
And Captain Live like rebutted each scheme and like did it better than the dude did. He's really great. He's like a good like freestyler, and like, he's very good at mixing it up, and he's just like very funny. So him and Captain Live would have been cool, but yeah, unfortunately, Captain Live is known for not always being in attendance when he's supposed to battle.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But like with yourself, then, like, have you've only battled like around New York and Canada? Is that right?
Yeah.
So you're based in Philadelphia now, though. So like, what's the longest amount of time that you've had to spend traveling to an event?
I went to since when I battled SM, I had already lived in Philly. So going from Philly to Canada was the longest drive. It's about like 9 hours, which isn't the worst. I was like, I don't mind. It's a nice drive and stuff. But that's the longest it's been for me. I went from when I was still living in Staten Island, New York. I went from New York to Canada. but Philly's a little bit more south. So from Philly to Canada to Toronto for the SM battle is the longest I've drove.
Right. It always fascinates me to hear ever since I was saying this to Jack Casserole, I think. Like, I remember watching the Dirtbag Dan show like years ago, and they were discussing like a Don't Flop birthday event where Caustic had just come back from battling Soul, and they Dirtbag Dan mentioned how he booked Michael White to battle on.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a train wreck from the beginning, to be fair. But like, Michael White lives in like Corpus Christi in Texas, and
Dude, that guy, motherfucker, man.
oh my god, man, he's the weirdest person I've ever seen. But he just battled on Don't Flop at the time, so obviously he'd flown over to the UK, but then refused to fly to Bots because he was scared of flying, and he took a Greyhound from Corpus Christi all the way to San Jose, and like
no. Oh, dude, no.
And
no
for
way.
me, because I've never been to America, obviously I realise that it's a huge country, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but to me, Texas and California are kind of like a couple of states apart. Like, I didn't realise it was that much of a big deal. And then he was like, yeah, it took him 3 days to get here just to battle Joe. And I was like, what? Like, why?
No, dude. No, that guy's fucking weird. Never, like, don't use that guy as a point of reference ever. Did you ever see when he battled himself in the mirror?
Yes.
And he's like talking about how his dad left his family and his mom like does drugs. Dude, like, please, as someone who's not from America, don't use Michael White as a point of reference for anything, because I promise you, none of us, no one else is like that guy, you know? Oh, dude,
So
yeah, no.
I'd never watched him before, and I went to an event in the UK, and he was here.
I think I saw that.
He ended up doing like 3 battles in 2 days, but he did this. He was booked to battle Pedro, which happened in the venue, but he did a battle.
That makes sense,
like,
oddly enough.
It was a big event, so like it was about 400 people at this event. So before the battle started, like before the event started, they did this battle outside the venue where Michael White battled like a guy called Soljitsu, who was like up and coming at the time. And
I think I know of him.
Yeah, he's good, but Michael White, like, I remember turning up to watch it, and he's got like a travel pillow over his head, and he's got all this like proper baggy clothes on, like his t-shirt is longer than most dresses, kind of thing. Got like 4 t-shirts underneath it and stuff, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And then they battle, and like one of the first things he says to Soljitsu, "You look like Dave Chappelle," which is quite a good comparison. He does look like him. But then he extends it to, "You look like Dave Chappelle's sister had sex with Dave Chappelle, and then Dave Chappelle's baby that was made turned out to be the baby that I raped, and I called it Baby Dave." And I remember just stood there like, who the fuck have they brought in for this event? So his main stage battle, I ended up not even watching it. I went outside for a smoke break during the battle and just gave up on it. And by the sounds of things, I made a good choice.
Dude, he's fucking weird, man. He's actually out of his mind.
Yeah, definitely. Strange guy.
You know, like someone should call him every couple of days and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, not normal, but
yeah, at all. So Jitsu's the guy that did but he wrote that and he kept that. And he said that.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT, dude. I love that guy, man. fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's him. He's not battled for a long time either, unfortunately. But yeah, he was pretty funny back in the day. But yeah, him and Michael White is not one to go and watch though.
It's funny. It's like how I was saying before that like the weird battles are the best ones to watch. Like I'll probably watch Michael White today just because of this conversation, because those are sometimes even better.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about the whole time he was there, and then yeah, I know they definitely didn't reach out to book him again. I'll put it that way. But
well, you moved from Michael White to Real Sick, so someone's making the right calls.
Yeah. Well, Michael White then a couple of days later went and battled Mickey Worthless on King of the Ronalds, and I was like, now that makes sense. I'm not going to bat an eyelid at that, but
yeah, I almost battled Mickey Worthless once on iBattle, but it didn't happen. But yeah, Michael White and Mickey Worthless makes a hell of a lot more sense than Soljitsu and Michael White.
You and Mickey Worthless, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, they did. I couldn't tell you when it was. I was looking. Lex was trying to book me for something, and it was Mickey Worthless was one option, and then I don't know if you're familiar with this dude Clutch.
Yeah,
I don't know where he's from. I want to say he's from Utah, but I think that's wrong.
I think you're right, and he's been on Don't Flop USA.
Yeah, I was supposed to battle him, and then he canceled. And then Lex was like, well, how about Mickey Worthless? And then, like, I don't know what happened, but obviously the battle didn't happen. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Worthless is he's a character, we'll put it that way. There's quite a few things that's gone wrong with him.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude who's, like, fun to hang out with, but battle-wise, yikes.
Yeah, I get on with Mickey. I've never had any problems with him, but I've never really sat down and spent like a good amount of time with him. It's just the odd brief conversation at events, but he's
right.
He's pissed a lot of people off down the years. I know that.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like at one point, like in every battle, he would start it with like, in his first round, would be like, "Yeah, I pissed this guy off or whatever. Like, I didn't have the money for this, or like, yeah, I said this to this person and they wanted to kill me or whatever." It's just kind of hilarious.
As far as I know, this battle never got released, but he basically got booked to go to South Africa,
mm-hmm.
and he went all the way to South Africa on his own and did 3 rounds about how much he loved slavery. Which
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, good for him. He's still alive, so I guess that's a win in a way.
He's got a set of bollocks on him, is how I'd like to put it.
He definitely does.
Yeah, but
he does.
Yeah, you and Mickey would have been interesting just to have seen what he would have said, because he's. I don't think Mickey's prepared for a battle for about 10 years, so it would have been
good for him. I don't know how anyone has like the nerve to do that, dude. Like, I freak out. Like this last battle I had with Bob Barker in February, I didn't finish until 4 days before, and I was fucking losing my mind. Like, I was freaking out. And then like there's people like Mickey Worthless and like a lot of people who are just like, yeah, I got like 12 hours to the battle, I'm fine. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, how do you do that? It's a skill that some people have, and some people can, figure it out. Whether it's last minute writing or improv or rebuttals and freestyling or whatever. But like, it's a skill I don't have. And like, shout out to all the people that could do that, because I am not one of those people.
No, I'm so I'm about to do my first ever battle.
Really?
Yeah, I've entered the Premier Battles Academy this year, so like the newcomer tournament, and I've written for 4 battles in the past that were meant to be my tryout, and they've all not happened. Um,
Okay.
I've had one where I was just no-showed on the day and never got an explanation for it, kind of thing. So I went from Cardiff all the way to, oh, the event was in Portsmouth, so it was about a 5-hour drive. Um, Went all the way there just for my opponent to not turn up, which wasn't fun. But I then rescheduled another tryout, which was also on Don't Flop, but that was meant to be in London. And they messaged me like 3 days before just saying, look, we forgot to ask your opponent if he still wanted to try out.
Aye. Jesus Christ.
So he didn't want to do it on short notice. And I was like, right, fucking great. So then I kind of gave up on the idea of battling on Don't Flop. I went for a smaller league. There was a league that started here called Grassroots, which was, it was a little bit King of the Ronalds esque. There was a guy called Blunt Ted on King of the Ronalds who was running it and stuff. And it was, most of the events were like outdoor events, but
Okay.
I had a battle booked there that I ripped 3 rounds for, and then the guy cancelled like 4 days before. But he, to be fair, had some pretty horrible shit go on with like a family member, so I wasn't annoyed about that. But then they rearranged it for an event like 3 months later, so I had against a different opponent, but I had 3 months to write, and like I thought my material was amazing. And then 2 days before the event, I messaged all three of the guys that were like running the league, just saying, look, I'm about to book my travel because it's about 4 hours away, and probably the train was going to cost probably about $100 kind of thing, so it wasn't cheap. And
Right.
I messaged him just saying, look, I'm about to book my travel. Is everything ready to go? Everything's written. I'm ready to go. Please tell me this is going to happen. I got blanked for about 3 days, and then literally the night before the event was meant to be, one of them replied and just like, oh, have you not heard the news? We're not doing events anymore. We're not a league anymore. And I was just like, for fuck's
Gosh.
sake, man. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, but but basically what's happening this year is normally the academy do like they pick 32 entrants to enter the tournament, and then out of those 32 people, they do the first round as a qualifying round, and then they
Okay.
do the last 16, last 8, and so on. But I'm finding out my opponent tomorrow,
That's
and
exciting,
then
though.
yeah, very. The first round's a video battle though, so we find out tomorrow. We had 2 weeks to put 2 rounds together,
Okay.
and then if I qualify to go into the tournament, that'll be a live event. So it's kind of easing into it, I guess. But yeah, I'm quite excited. Hopefully, I get somebody that I'm aware of, so I've got some shit to say. But
Dude, those initial battles are like stressful, but they're like fun,
yeah,
because there's expectation of you, So, I mean, this is like how when I had my tryout, like there's no expectation. So like if you go in and like you're yourself and you have some good material and you deliver, you don't have to be. No one expects you to be fucking phenomenal off the rip. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows that like there's you start out at one place and then you build, and that's how you become, however good you're gonna be. So like it's kind of fun. You can like experiment and like see kind of what works and stuff like that. I don't know, dude. That's exciting.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm buzzing to find out who my opponent's going to be tomorrow. But yeah, fingers crossed that'll be out soon. But like in terms of your first battle, actually, so that was in front of a pretty big crowd, right?
I think the way that you're talking about the Derms battle,
Yeah.
so the way that's like in this shop, Richmond Hood, is like it's kind of like this one narrow like shoe back. So it probably looks like more people than it is. If I had to take a guess, I would say it's like 30 people.
Ah, okay. So it looks like because the where the pit is, the room's a
Right.
bit bigger, but then the corridor's quite thin. Like, wow,
Yeah.
the
It
room
curves
gets
out
thinner,
towards.
doesn't it? But it
Yes.
looks like it's full to the back on the footage from what I remember. So,
And and like honestly, it probably is, but it's not such a it's not a big place, to begin with. So
right,
it's probably somewhere between 30 and 40 people. But I'm also a really bad judge and stuff like that. But I would say it's probably around 35 people.
right, okay. Yeah, it looked like there was like 80 or so people there on the footage, but
Right. I mean, it was still like people obviously that like you're trying to impress, like I didn't really know anyone at that time. I had actually just met Eddie at my tryout. So like, but to me, like at that point, like Eddie's there. That's a big person to impress. Lex is there. Paul Mars is there. Um, Dago's there. Like Lev is there. Lev was hosting it. Like at that point to me, like, that's like a huge, like bunch of people to be rapping in front of, especially when it's only my second time. So even though it was kind of more of like, in my perspective, like quality over quantity.
sure. No, I appreciate that, and it must be nerve-wracking though, stepping into a room with people that you've been watching online for a while as well, like Eddie and Lex and stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it was wild because I don't remember where on the card we were, but me and Derms were more towards the bottom of the card, and he just wasn't there. So Lex comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, like as soon as this guy gets here, you're probably gonna go first." Okay, cool. Like mentally prepare yourself to go first. All right, cool. I want to like look this way for this thing, and I want to say this thing like this. Okay, cool. I'm rehearsing, and then it's like, oh, he's still not here, so we're gonna do this first block of two battles, and you're gonna go third. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure, whatever. And like more people show up. Like I think at that point, I think City Towers had just got there, and I'm like, oh fuck, okay, well now he's here. All right, cool. Rehearse, go. Oh, well, he's still not here. We don't know why. We called him. We blah blah blah. He's in a taxi. He's gonna be here in a minute. You're gonna go fourth, and then it ended up being like, okay, there's 3 battles left, so you're gonna go as soon as he gets here. So it's like kind of scary in that perspective of like, okay, I just prepared myself to go like mentally like 4 times, and this guy's still not here. So it
yeah.
was more nerve wracking in that sense than anything else.
No, I can imagine, man. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. It's going to be good. I've been waiting for. Basically, I wanted to try out when I got into battle rap like 11 years ago or whatever. But as soon as I got into battle rap when I was still in school, I was like 14, and then
Right.
when I was 17, I moved to Sweden. I lived there for like 2.5 years, and then moved to Germany for about 3 years. So
Uh-huh.
missed out on being able to for a long time. And then when I moved back to the UK, I worked weekends for like the first 3 years, so could just
Right.
rarely have the chance to get to events as well. But now's the
So
perfect time, really.
pro tip is you want to go third, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. Third is the sweet spot of where you want to rap in an event. Because first you're the crowd's waking up. Sometimes it's a dead crowd or like not a lot of people are there. Second battle is kind of like the same thing. There's not a lot of people there, and like it may sound stupid, but like people don't want to overreact and they don't know what to react to. Like is this good enough to react to? I don't know. Like maybe it's good, but like maybe someone later is going to say something 10 times crazier. So I got to react to that shit. That's going to happen in 2 hours from now. And I feel like third and fourth is usually the second block of battles. So people are there. People are getting there. The people that were there for the first block of battles, they smoked a little bit, they drank a little bit, like they're loose, they're like they want to react. Okay, now it's time to like go crazy, like now the good, and like and the good people are going. I want to see these battles. I had a couple beers, I smoked a little bit, I feel good, and then the third and fourth battle, in my opinion, is like the best place to be, you know? Because you have the people that are a little drunk, a little stoned, a little whatever. They're reacting because now they're like, all right, well, I just sat here kind of quieter for the first two battles. And then the second wave of people that came in probably pre-gamed or they smoked in the fucking parking lot before they even came in the event. And then they see the other people react and they're going to react. You want to go third. That's that's my opinion.
So
try and
for me, I think I like the idea of going first. I'm going to be honest, and only because I'm 6'6", so
you're a tall fucker then, yeah.
yeah, and my plan is to use that to the best of my ability. So I think I'd be quite good at waking the crowd up in that sense, but also I really just want to get it out the way and then get straight on the beers and enjoy the rest of the
right.
battle.
So that's a good point too. Like, yeah, you want to just get it out of the way, but like you have to think like you also have to think footage wise. Like all these battles get released, the Academy battles.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to think footage wise. Like, yeah, if you go first, like, yeah, you'll have the shock value of it in the room, but you won't have the reaction on camera. And like the camera matters, dude. Like, and like at first I was like, fuck the camera, I don't fucking care. I just want to get this over with. I was the same spot that you're in. But like for views and replayability on YouTube, I feel like I also don't know how UK events work. I've never been to an event in the UK. But like as far as iBattle events go, like there's a noticeable difference in crowd size from the first battle to the third battle. Like it doubles in size for the third battle. Like if you're first at an iBattle event, especially like a new event, like not a Titan or a takeover or a God of the Arena, if you're at like a scrimmage event for iBattle, if you're battling first, you're probably going to be in front of like I'm going to say like 20 people. 10 of those are battlers. 10 of those are or people that are fans, you know. And like if you battle third in an iBattle event, you're probably going to battle in front of like 40 people, even maybe 50 people, and it's going to be like 30 battlers. So for iBattle, like you want those extra 30 people to be there, and you want 30 of those people to be people that are going to, you know, come up to you and be like, okay, like this was good, but you need to do this. You know, like you want battlers in the crowd because as far as iBattle goes, you want that advice as soon as you're done. You know, that battle's still fresh in your head. Like when I battled Derms, I finished, I walked to the side, and the first two people that came up to me were Lev Corso and Eddie. And they were like, okay, this was good, but this was not good. And like, it's kind of that instant, like, okay, let me get this information in while my head is still in like battle mode. Because as soon as your head is out of battle mode, 5 minutes after your battle, you're in, let's get as wasted as I can or get as stoned as I can. I want this all to be gone and out of my brain. So I don't know. I like third for a lot of reasons. But I understand you just wanting to just get it out of there.
Yeah. I'll make that decision when it comes, I suppose. But I've got a feeling in terms of if I get through the video round and into the actual tournament past the qualifiers, I have a feeling that I would go up first at that event anyway, because to my knowledge, I'm one of the few people that's entered that's never battled before.
Right. So you're going to first.
Yeah. Most of them have done kind of like 2 or 3 battles or something. But like, I mean, even last year, I think the final last year was Visual versus Milky. Visual had never battled before the tournament, whereas Milky had done probably about 10 battles.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a mixture on that front, like anybody can enter kind of thing. And I think it was the same before actually. So the year before, Major Concerns had never battled, whereas LSD had done maybe 15 battles at the time, I think.
Right. That's how it was when I tried out my first battle ever. Lex came up to me and my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna go first and second." And we were like, "Why?" Because we have no footage. And he was like, yes. It's like, yeah, that's exactly why. So it does go by that too, obviously.
Yeah.
But
But no, man.
I guarantee you, if you walked into your first live battle event with 15 people with you, you'll go last. So it's because obviously event people that organize the events and the league owners want people to be there. So if you go in with 20 people, those 20 people are going to leave as soon as you're done. So from an obvious, league owner perspective, you showed up with 15 people, you're going to go later on in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. But
Mm-hmm.
for yourself anyway, Sweeney, like who do you want? Like if you could pick 5 battlers that really interest you, who's on that list?
In obviously in battling them.
Yeah.
So I honestly, my number one, or the thing that would get me to a battle event the fastest, is I would love to smoke E. Farrell's fucking boots, because I think he's so fucking bad. Like, he's really bad. So Farrell on iBattle would be like my number one. That's kind of my go-to. If Lex was to hit me up right now and say, we're putting together a big event for when this is over, what's your plan? Like, I just fucking smoke E. Farrell's fucking boots, because he's not good at all.
No, I'm sorry, man. No, I can't agree with that. I love E. Farrell.
He's got some great fucking punches. Like, I won't sit here and be like, he's the worst ever. He's not the worst ever. But where people put him and where he actually should be is not even close. Like, he's not as good as people think. He's not. So to be on iBattle, to be a newer iBattle guy and get to smoke like the old iBattle face, like, that would be really cool. Because I honestly do think that if someone booked me in Farrell, I would smoke his life away. I really believe it.
I like it. I do like it, and I like how confident you are as well. And I think it'd be an incredible battle. But
it would be great. Like,
Farrell,
he's great. Like, if you really wanted to, and you go back to when, like, he battled Foreman at the first Sink or Slim, like, I'm right behind Lex. I think, like, dude, like, he was great. He's good. But like, like, he also, I think he has a bad trend of losing, and if he's not losing, he's battling his friends. He takes safe battles, and I hate that. But like, did he like build iBattle? Absolutely. Like, to me, it's like him, Bangs, Jeff, Tape Deck, like Jack Tripper. Those are probably the names that come out to me the most as like building Dago too, as like building iBattle, like making it a thing now that when Lex bought it, we were all like, this is sick, Without Farrell, it would have been like, oh, what is this league, So, like, he definitely helped build it, but he takes safe battles, Like, if you really think about Farrell, like, what was the last battle he took that he could lose that he won? Like, there, Like, yeah, Foreman's his friend. Like, Foreman's his buddy. I think he beat Foreman, but Foreman's his friend. He battled Dunch before that, and in my opinion, Dunch beat him. But that's another safe one. Like, him and Dunch were cool, are cool, or were cool at the time. Then what's before that? Like, Madflex? Madflex smoked Farrell real bad.
He did. I'll give you that.
Granted, Madflex is incredible, but like, smoked him really bad. And then I don't know what Farrell's battle before that would be. I don't. It's not that I don't follow Farrell.
Since Dunch, he's battled Heretic in the UK, which is a tough.
He did good. That was a good battle. He crushed that.
He battled B Magic.
I think B Magic beat him personally. But that's a safe battle, though, to me. Like, I think that's a safe battle. Like, you're on No Coast battling B Magic. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's kind of safe, man. But more importantly than that, I think he lost. And then what's I don't know. Ellipsis smoked him, in my opinion. I think Ellipsis made him look super bad.
Yeah, and I do think Ellipsis won. I agree, but I thought he was good in that. But like, he's battled big people, man. Like him and Jeff versus K Shine and DNA.
Yeah, but like, But okay, so no one's gonna say you lost that battle. It's a 2-on-2 versus K Shine and DNA on what was that? That was a 4-1-3, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that's where Farrell's from Mass, right? Oh no, he's from Connecticut. I don't fucking care. No one's gonna a 2-on-2 is hard to judge. Like a 2-on-2 is hard to judge. Like I don't think you can lose a 2-on-2 if that makes sense. Like it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me. Like I don't know. You can't judge 2-on-2s. You can't say Farrell lost a 2-on-2 because if it's not like a 1-on-1 battle, like it's too subjective to say a loss. Like if people think that me and Eddie lost to Dago in Leakness, that's fine. Like okay, you think we lost, but I would never hold that against someone in a 1-on-1 battle
Okay, I
because
see what
it's
you
not
mean.
a 1-on-1. It's 2-on-2. You know,
Did Farrell battle Dre Dennis, or am I imagining that?
he did. He battled him on the trap in New York. Which was pretty cool. But I can't sit like to me, Dre Dennis is kind of played and boring, and like Farrell's kind of the same. I've never watched that whole battle, but I
Yeah, I
know that
mean, it doesn't help that Dre Dennis does 45 battles a year, but
a day, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Exactly. Farrell said something that was cool about Selsun Blue, something like you went and used some Selsun Blue, and that's my only quotable of what I've seen, and that's not good. You know, like if the quotable is half of a punchline, like you probably didn't do that good, you know? I don't see it with Farrell, man. I get the initial I don't want to say hype, but like the initial like, following, because like if you watch old Farrell battles, he was like this super stuttery, like super nerdy, kid. And like I get it. Like when he battled Dot, I think Dot was his first like shot or like big name or whatever. And like it was also his first battle where he wasn't super nerdy. So like obviously you're gonna get something off that. And I understand that because it's like there's no way this nerdy kid's gonna beat Dot, And then like he does, and it's like holy fuck, like he beat Dot, what, like this kid, um, like let's say for instance, like some kid who has one battle, right, is in this smack tournament and they draw Bad News in the first round, right? And they beat Bad News. Everyone's going to lose their mind because
Yeah.
it's some new kid, who just beat Bad News. Like, that's insane. And this kid's going to get followings and people are going to watch his next battle just because he's new and he beat Bad News. And I feel like that is kind of the E. Farrell versus Dot effect,
Was Dot really that big?
reasons. Like he had the reach shit, the umbrella. Do you know what that whole thing?
Yeah, one of the most phenomenal lines of all time. I
It's
love it.
the best, worst line ever, or the worst best line, like whatever.
It's
But
so
like,
cheeky. I love it.
it's so stupid, but and that's why it's great because it's stupid.
Yeah.
And like Dot was in that realm of like, oh reach god, oh PG, you're the reach god, everyone, and like Farrell was like, I think that's Farrell's like fifth battle. I could be completely wrong. I didn't follow iBattle at this time, and Farrell comes out, and I think that's when he said like I'm a substitute teacher. I ain't doing nothing but taking names, which is fire. But like you said it to Dot, and you're like a nobody, and Dot's like blowing up. It's like the same idea, I'm sure to some scale it's like when I battled Caustic. People were like, who the fuck is Sweeney? Oh, that shit was cool. And it's versus Caustic, so it's 10 times as cool, Like, it's part of the game, but I think that's kind of how Farrell, like, got where he is off of shit like that. Like shock value in the sense of like, who is this nerdy little kid? And then, oh, wow, he's actually good, I think his mass battle is the same thing. When he battled, what's that kid's name at the first mass? Not Cicero. I don't know his name. The other guy from fucking wherever they're from the first mass when he said, some,
Oh
bro, you
yeah.
ain't. I'd rather sit through 2 DNA battles in the same night. Like shock value off of the way Farrell looks, and then shock value off of going to DNA when he canceled his battle last minute, and you're the opening battle on the card, and it's the first King of the Dot event in Massachusetts at the time. Like, that's huge, you know. Like, and you got the GOAT hype man behind you, Jeff and Bangs. Like, it's there's no way that battle wasn't going to get Farrell somewhere because he played it perfectly. But if Farrell and me were to battle, like, it's not a buddy battle. I'm not going there to be Farrell's friend. Like, nothing that, like, I'm sure that Dunch or Foreman had dirt on Farrell, but they're obviously not going to say it because they're friends. Like, I'll say that shit, dude. I'm not your friend, you know? Like, I think I would fucking obliterate Farrell, to be completely honest with you.
No, I like your talk, man. I like it, and it is a good battle as well. I'd love to see it, but yeah,
It would just be good. If iBattle ever did, if they did a comeback event, or if they did a small room event, like almost like a volume, but obviously not a volume, like, I think it would. I think me and Farrell fits well into any kind of event Lex is trying to throw. So that would definitely be my number one. Is me just getting Farrell the fuck up out of here.
yeah, that's fair, man. I like it.
After that, man, like, I don't know. I would love to battle. Like, I think me and Real Deal would be cool if, like, but I just got Caustic, so getting another big name, I think, is like a little bit. We got a little bit of time until that. But just off angles and how he uses angles and kind of integrates it with punches, I think me and Real cool matchup. I think I did that pretty well with, like, the colorblind shit versus Caustic and stuff like that. Who else? I always think Flag would be cool. Red Flag and me would be pretty cool because I think me and Flag do a good job of being direct. But I know Flag's got Louis, and I'm sure by that time he'll probably be either on King of the Dot or back in the UK. So that's kind of like a when it happens kind of thing. And if not, that's cool too because Flag's, you know, out there doing his thing, kind of spreading his name around. He's crushing it. Me and Dunch, I think, would have been cool.
Yeah.
If still involved, if Dunch is still battling when all this is over. I don't know. What's that? That's 3. That's 4. One more? I don't know. I mean, someone somewhere else. I would love an away game, you know? Someone in the UK would be cool, but honestly, like, who runs Premier? That's Briggsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Briggsy was to want to do something, I would kind of, for the most part, be like, you better than me, you pick. You know, like, obviously I'm saying I want to battle people that haven't battled in 7 years. So I would be like, yo, man, like, you pick that. Or, like, if I was to do an away game anywhere, if I was to do a GZ or something like that, I would tell kind of the powers that be, like, you guys pick. I always wanted to battle Jeff because he's fucking great. You know, like, he's super entertaining. But I don't know. Yeah, I think those 4 are probably the big standouts. Farrell, Real Deal, Dunch, and whoever else I said. Flag.
Nice. No, I like that, man. And on the subject of Red Flag, so we were meant to do an episode on Monday, but unfortunately he's been really busy with work and stuff. So
what a prick.
He's he actually just messaged me earlier about 20 minutes ago to rearrange it for this week coming. And I said to him, like, I'm currently doing an episode with you, but as soon as it's done, I'll check my schedule and we'll book something in. And he's just replied saying, glad to see my biological son Sweeney getting some love.
He's such a prick, dude. That's why I like him. He's such a scumbag.
Yeah,
Flag's great, man. I've, like, been lucky enough to, like, you know, hang out with Flag a lot and, like, kind of pick his brain on stuff. And, like, dude, he's a smart guy, and, like, he does a good job of playing to his strengths. Funny day is, like, one time when him and Jables had just got announced, right? And we were at the Sink or Swim event where I battled Shaw, and they did like, Farrell and Foreman was on the card, and Sean and Homeschool at the house party. And dude, me and him were going back and forth for like a fucking half an hour. I was like, yo, Jables is gonna kill you. And, like, you know, me and him going back and forth. No one likes Jables but you guys, you know? I love how competitive he is. And it's like, to me, it's like one of his best attributes is, you know, he's very competitive, and I feel like he takes I feel like he did better against Jables, obviously because he's really good, but because he knew people had Jables winning before the battle even happened. I feel like how competitive Flag is just a testament to how great he does, especially at away games, like versus Raptor or in Ireland or versus Joey on Decade or when he battled when he battled XQZ at the Wave 2. It's his competitiveness is such a good testament to just how good he is and how serious he takes it. Flag's dope, man.
Definitely, man. And he's he's
Ruined
put on
life.
3 performances over this part of the world now, and all 3 of them have been some of the best performances we've seen from internationals for a very long time over here. So
Yeah.
I'm
he doesn't take anything light, which is like on when he battled when he ended up battling Bangs and Prez Mafia. Have you seen that?
Yes.
So he was supposed to battle A Class, right?
Oh, okay.
And A Class no shows. They haven't heard from A Class, and Bangs is just there hanging out. That was when Bangs was supposed to battle Pat Stay. That was the first time he was supposed to battle Pat Stay.
Right.
And Flag comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, they just told me this. They told me that Bangs is down and just do a quick little run, 1 round, 3-4 minutes. Should I do it?" I was like, "Ah, man, I don't know. This is Bangs' thing, and you're good enough to battle Bangs down the line. So maybe just hang on to it. Because if you battle him now and he smokes you, because this is what he does, you're probably not going to get the rematch and it's going to look bad for you." And then he's like, "Okay." He comes back 20 minutes later and he's like, "All right, so I'm going to do it. And I thought of all this material in the parking lot. Can I say it to you and you can tell me if it's good or not?" And the fact that your battle just got canceled, you're cutting half your material for material you just came up with while chugging beers in the parking lot versus Bangs of all people. It's just a testament to how competitive and how into all this that Flag is, it's not just a show. He's about it. And if he's going to do it, he's going to do it really well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's
he still sucks.
I like it, but no, he's incredible, man. I'm a huge fan as well. But yeah, you two would be good to see. I like that battle a lot actually, and I don't know if there's ever been a father-son battle either, so it'd be good to see.
Dude, Flag is a fucking chump,
But apart from that, man, the final battle rap related question really is, and this is the one that people have found the most difficult, but if you were a promoter with unlimited funds, putting a card together of let's say 8 battles. I've normally said 10, which is a bit much, but 8 battles. You can get anyone you want with this unlimited money. Who are you putting on the card?
Sheesh. See, my first instinct is okay, what's my dream? iBattle King of the Dot smack card. But you have all this money, I can get anyone. I could bring some industry shit into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think. Damn, dude, this is definitely not easy. I'll probably do. Excuse me. My main event. I'd probably do Pusha T and Drake. I don't care. Pusha T is my GOAT. So I'll do Pusha and Drake. I'll do Action Bronson versus Ghostface Killah is my second.
Okay.
Because I remember when they got into an actual argument in Queens. I'll do for the GOAT. I'll do Lex versus Bill Collector.
Nice. On beat or?
No. None of these are on beat. I'll probably do Soul and Red Flag.
I like that.
That's 4, dude. I don't know. I feel I want more. I feel the 2 main events being industry is good enough. Damn, dude, this is not easy at all. There's too many. There's too many options.
Yeah.
That's 4. Damn, dude, this is hard. I'll do Dungeon Roan.
Yeah, okay.
Was that 5?
Yeah.
I got 3 more. I'll do Eddie I versus Childish Gambino.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
That's 6. I got 2 left. Damn. Do Big K versus Royce the 5'9".
Yeah. Okay.
I got 1 left. I kind of want to put Jables on this card. That's my boy. I don't know. Ilmac versus someone probably because he's a very good in-betweener. Sheesh. I don't know, man. This one's hard. I want to get Twerk on it. Twerk versus someone? Who has it? I want to do Twerk and K-Shine.
Yeah, I like that.
I know that's supposed to happen on the quarantine shit, but fuck you, dude. I'm not. That's meant to be on a main stage 3 rounds, you know?
2 people who, well, I mean, arguably 2 of the best performers in battle rap, and you want to do
You know what
it.
I hate? You know what I hate about K-Shine? It's the only thing it's the weirdest criticism, but it makes me literally I don't watch a lot of K-Shine battles. I feel like he just has to spit a loogie out, but he's just not doing it. You know, he has that weird gravel point of his voice, and he just needs to spit the loogie out, and he'll be fine. If you watch old K-Shine battles, when I don't want to say his voice was smooth, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean, or am I fucking weird?
I get you. I do.
If you watch K-Shine battles,
he's a bit
it's
croaky.
you just sit there. Yeah, dude, spit the loogie out and then go back into your material. Just cut it out. I fucking hate it. It makes me so angry.
No, that's fair enough. That is definitely fair enough. And I've still got beef with K-Shine personally anyway, so.
Why? What happened? You beat him up?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't get a chance to, but him and DNA were meant to battle Shuffle T and Marlowe over here.
Oh, yeah, that was a little while ago, right?
Yeah, about 4 years ago now, maybe. And he
remember that.
His excuse for no showing the battle was he didn't realize he needed a passport.
He didn't know he needed a passport to go overseas?
No. Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
So I that battle pretty much made me book tickets for that event. So when I found out it wasn't happening, I tweeted him and told him that I thought he was fucking retarded, and he's pretty much been on his
was that when they
long
battled
block list ever since.
Was that why they battled the Fantastic instead? Was that because of that?
No. So Don't Flop used to do April Fool's events on April Fool's.
Right, those are my favorite. That was when someone battled the Mirror, not Michael White. Someone, what's his name? Definition.
Yeah.
Battled himself in the Mirror, right? I think
he
that
did.
was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great one, and I think they did that Fantastic battle as part of that, if I remember rightly. They also did the Bad Bars battle against each other for April Fools as well. So
that's one of the best battles, ever. The cheap Raider.
I was about to say that, man. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
That's definitely one of my favorites. Or was it something they made a joke off of something else, where's your fucking keyboard now or something like that? I forget it. Act like a fucking gangster now or something like that. Or maybe it was I got his towel.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, he says he gets angry whenever anybody uses his towel and he pulls it out of his bag.
Yeah. Act like a fucking gangster now. That's one of the best. You know what's funny is they did a watch of that battle on Ruin Your Day.
Yeah.
And they had Saint on it, and Saint, I don't think anyone explained to Saint that it was a joke battle. That the whole thing was kind of tongue in cheek. So you could see Avocado and Ilmac are all laughing, and Saint's kind of just like looking around, like, "What's going on here? Like, why do you guys think this is good?" And I don't think anyone told him it was all like the pretense to it.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's hilarious, and like
it's fucking amazing that he's like, why is everyone freaking out that this guy's got a fucking whipped a towel out of a backpack? It's like so funny that he's not in the loop.
I love Ruin Your Day for that exact reason. Like, I'll never forget them putting on. I can't remember which battle it was now, but they put an Ogmios battle on Ruin Your Day, and the guest is Geechee Gotti, and Geechee Gotti watching Ogmios is probably my favourite thing in battle rap.
It's so good. It's really funny. They had I don't know. Oh, you know who else is another person? Does Wizard still battle?
No, not for a long time anyway.
The goats are gone.
Yeah.
Fuck, Wizard is the goat.
There is, however, another, like a newer battler. His name's Young Crumpet. You'll probably
so
have seen him in the iBattle forum because he's in there a lot. His name's Connor Ainsworth.
Oh yeah, I have. I didn't know that he was a battler though.
Yeah, so Young Crumpet is a battler out here, and he's very similar to Wizard in that it's all gun bars but very comedic.
I love that, dude. Well, that's the guy I want to. That's my new answer to that question.
Yeah, and like for example, Young Crumpet has this line where he says, I can't remember the full line, but he's like, I can tell that this dude's fake, so I'm here to put a shell on this tit like the Little Mermaid. And I was like, that is amazing.
Dude, I didn't know he battled. Yeah, he's super supportive too. He's like in on everything, which is pretty fire.
He is literally like the update king. So like any event that he goes to, he updates everything on the forum. And like I've seen him at events where he's literally there with like one of these like portable power packs plugged into his phone to keep it charged. And he's just there through the whole event tweeting every good bar from every single battle. Like he loves this shit.
Dope that he think about it.
I couldn't do it. I can't.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I've went to like iBattle events and been like, I'm gonna be the guy, who keeps everyone in the loop. And then like the second battle, then I'm like, you know what? Just buy the pay-per-view, or like go fuck off somewhere.
Yeah, I've done the exact same thing. Like by the time the first battle's over, there's normally like a half an hour break per battle as well, so I'm normally just too drunk by the second battle too. So.
You guys do a break in between every battle?
Pretty much most events anyway. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll get like 2 battles and then a break and then 2 battles, but we very much run on battle rap time over here, so events.
Oh, okay. Battle rap time is a real fucking thing.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the battle rap questions, man. But like for yourself, like these questions do get harder. So there's 3 music related questions, and then 3 very random questions to finish up on. But in terms of the music questions, what would you say would be? It's subjective. I know this changes all the time, but what are your 3 favorite albums of all time?
I hate to be like, I feel like I have the most cliche answer to this, like growing up in New York or whatever. But it was definitely like Reasonable Doubt, Get Rich or Die Trying. And then, I don't know, the third one? Probably like the Slim Shady LP, like something Eminem, dude, you know?
Yeah, I mean, over here, like hip hop was never that accessible when I was growing up. So like, I got into it through Eminem, to be fair. So
Right. Like I remember like like I listened to like Eminem albums and like 50 Cent on like my uh my CD player, and like my grandparents would just be like fucking freaking out. They'd be like, "What the fuck are you listening to?
yeah,
Don't worry about it. You know, you don't understand." You know? Like I remember being in middle school, one of my seventh grade teachers literally was like, "I don't care what your grade is. I don't care how you know how you've done on tests or whatever up until this point. If you come in and you give me a copy of Get Rich or Die Trying, then I'll give you an 85. Like I'll pass you no matter what. If you give me a copy of a 50 Cent CD." Like that's how crazy that album was in New York.
yeah. No, I can imagine, man. It was a great album as well. To be fair, it was one of the first albums that I had on CD too. So I'm with you there. But
I thought Gotta Make It to Heaven was trash. I loved the whole CD. I thought Gotta Make It to Heaven was the worst song like ever at that point.
I can't even remember it, so it can't be very good. But
I don't remember it. I just remember having that thought in my brain like fucking 10 years ago, being like, this is the worst song. Like, I don't know. It could be sick. Like, I could listen to it today and love it. But as far as I remember, it was not good.
no, I'm definitely with you because I can't remember that one. But the what would you say is the best live act you've ever seen, like gig wise?
All right. So I've only been to one concert ever in my whole life. I went to Rock the Bells in like 2010 or 2011 maybe. And it was DMX's first comeback after like, all the drugs and shit.
Shit.
So fucking they have Eve. So they have like it's like the Locks, Method Man and Redman. I don't really remember. Action Bronson might have been there, but I think that might have been before he got like super popular. I don't remember all the opening acts, but so they had Eve open up for DMX, right? And Eve's killing it. She's like doing like tambourine and like bullshit. And everyone's freaking out. We're all drunk and high and whatever. We're all freaking out. And then she's like, "Who's ready for the dog?" And the whole place goes absolutely fucking apeshit, right? And so someone like with their like fucking clipboard and their headset runs on stage and like they whisper something to Eve. And she's like, "Oh, the dog needs 5 more minutes." So like that was like the sickest blue balls ever, like we all think DMX is about to come out. So Eve leaves the stage. We're all sitting down and there's 2 humongous speakers, 2 huge speakers in like the middle of the stage with like a 6-foot gap in between it. So all of a sudden the beat for Where the Hood At drops and everyone loses their fucking mind, right? Because it's the first time DMX is back, like everyone's stoked. So he comes out and he's like, everyone's like losing their shit. He's doing Where the Hood At, and he tries to climb one of the speakers and he falls off the speaker, and
No,
because he's obviously on something, dude. So he's on the speaker. Speaker's got to be like 8 feet tall. He's got like his stomach on the top of the speaker, and he just rolls and he boom hits the stage on like back first. And they had to carry him off the stage. They like dragged him by his ankles off the stage. And that was the end of the fucking concert. They ended it with dragging DMX off the stage. So like that was the most interesting thing I've ever seen. Like I guess Method Man and Redman had the best fucking set, but that's the only concert I've ever been to. And it put a really bad taste in my mouth. So that was the most interesting concert I've ever been to in my life.
definitely, man. That's crazy. And do you know what? I don't know if DMX, to my knowledge, he's never done a show over here. Like, I might be completely wrong, but
Right.
as far as I know, if he has done a show over here, it hasn't been for a very long time. But yeah, it's I would love to see him just because I think the gig would be terrible, but it'd be entertaining.
Right. It was like the hypest thing. And like, they were like building up his comeback so much. He's good now. He was not good. He was not clean. He was not okay. I guarantee you that.
Dear. I love it. But is there Is there any like lesser known musicians that you're a big fan of that we might not be aware of over here in the UK?
Not really, man, dude. Like, you know, it's funny. It's like the way we were talking about UK battlers earlier is like kind of how I listen to music. You know, like I'll like go to my friend. I'll be like, yeah, I just figured out. I just found this song from like whoever. It's so sick, and they're like, yeah, that came out 8 years ago. You know, like I kind of feel like because of I don't know if it's because of work or whatever, but like I am not up on anything anything new at all. Like, you know, like I still listen to like Late Registration and like, you know, Reasonable Doubt and like old shit that like everyone's kind of forgot about. You know, it's weird. You know, like a buddy of mine is like very into like he lived in San Francisco for like a couple of years recently. So like he'll put me on to like San Francisco and like West Coast DJs and stuff like that. So I'll like that's like my only outlet of like new music. Besides that, I'm like, yeah, you guys want to listen to Day and Night by Kid Cudi for the 3 millionth time? You know? It's like all the same to me, dude. I don't know. I don't really know anybody new. If anyone knew Eddie I, listen to Eddie I if you haven't listened to him yet. You know, listen to Box Cutter Max from California. Like listen to battle rappers' music. Like iBattle is supremely blessed with battle rappers that make good music. You know, like Eddie I, Box Cutter Max. Who else? Like I don't know the little like freestyles that Chrome puts out on his fucking Facebook. Like I listen to those shits and those are very dope. You know, like there's a million people I'm definitely forgetting. I can't think of any other iBattle people that make music. To be honest with you, besides Max and Eddie, I'm sure that someone's gonna send me a nasty message because I forgot to plug them right now. But like I don't know, man. That's kind of been it for me.
Yeah, no, Eddie's music's great, man. I'm a big fan of that. And like something that I plan to do once I've got like more subscribers and stuff, I want to do a weekly show where we're talking more about battlers' music because it's always overlooked, and there's so many battlers that make great music.
The most insane music, dude. Like when I battled SM in Canada, we were at Smitty's house. Woody Smitty, shout out to Smitty. And like, you know, like SM makes great music too.
Yeah.
Ilmac obviously makes great music. Chase Moore produces some fucking dope ass shit. But it was me, Smitty, Eddie, SM, and then like a couple other battlers. And like Eddie had just finished putting together Uploaded, which is super dope if people haven't checked it out. And like him and SM were almost going like song for song. And like it was one of the craziest things because like they both make such good music. Which is dope. And then Eddie is like, you know, Eddie's been ever since he like kind of blew up, since he battled like Nestle at Gully vs. Gannick 2. Like he's been putting me on to like, you know, like Nestle music, and like he sends me like different battler music, which is dope because there's like a lot of people that like I either didn't know made music or like wouldn't check for because I'm not familiar, you know, with their battles to check their music. So like Eddie's a really good bridge between all that.
Definitely. And I absolutely loved that Chase Moore track with Eddie and Pass on Undecided.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Pass makes fucking fantastic music too.
Yeah.
I hate to go back into the battle realm, but I really hope that Eddie and Pass battle each other because I feel like that would be fucking perfect.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But yeah, like, yeah, dude. There's so many people, especially on the West. You know, we have Eddie out here, but I feel like Frack too. Frack makes great music. Pass makes great music. Ilmac, Chase Moore, Geechee. There's like so many people on the West that make great music. And it's cool to have Ruin Your Day as a platform. That's like I feel like Ruin Your Day picks up steam every day.
Yeah,
that'll kind of put it out there and show it to people. You know.
Yeah.
That new track Oasis is fire too.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. But I think just anything Avocado does, I'm pretty much instantly going to be a fan of. Like,
everything he touches turns into fucking gold. And like I feel like he's just a guy that's like trying to figure it out. Like, like, I think this will be cool. Like even the round for round shit that he started doing 3 days ago has like huge traction already. Everything Avocado touches, and like I don't know if it's all his ideas or whoever, but like everything he does just turns into fucking gold. It's insane.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. But so the final 3 questions are just random. Do you have a favorite sports team?
Unfortunately, I grew up as a Knicks fan and a Jets fan in New York, and 29 years later, it still isn't really working out for me. but yeah, I grew up in a big Jets family. I don't really like give a fuck about baseball. I think baseball kind of sucks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so like for me, American sports in the sense of hockey, baseball, basketball, and football have never been particularly accessible over here.
Right.
Basketball's probably been the main one where if you have like, we have like Sky TV, which is like our version of like cable. And if you're up late, they'll show basketball on Sky TV kind of thing. But anything else has never been particularly accessible to us. But I've always liked basketball, but never really followed it too much. But I've got really into NFL this year.
Dude, it's the go, dude.
Yeah. And like, so over here, obviously, soccer is the main sport. And
Right.
we'll have, on a Saturday night at about 10 o'clock, we'll have a show called Match of the Day, which will show the highlights of every Premier League game from that weekend. And as of the season that's just finished, they started doing the NFL show straight after.
Dope.
So
Dope.
I've got really into it through just like watching that straight after Match of the Day kind of thing. And I'm at the point where I understand the sport now and I really enjoy it, but I haven't picked a team yet. So I wanted to pick. I'll be honest. I wanted to pick the Chiefs just because.
Right. It just won.
Yeah, and I thought Patrick Mahomes was like the most incredible player that I've ever seen because I've only been into
He's
it.
like watching a superhero play sports, people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also didn't want to be like a glory supporter, so I thought I'd do a bit of research.
Yeah, don't be a fucking Chiefs fan, dude.
But yeah, so I've not found the team yet, but as of when the new season starts, I'll be following it a lot more. But yeah, I'm a big fan. But the New York haven't really had much luck in that sense, have they?
No, we're not very good at anything, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's hard being a Knicks fan. It's hard being a Jets fan. It's hard being a Giants fan the past couple of years. We don't really got that much going for us at all. Like I could have jumped on like the Eagles train because as soon as I moved to Philly, like they won the Super Bowl like a couple months later. But like Philly fans are trash, bro. They're the worst. I just keep going with New York. I gotta stick with my Knicks and my Jets and fingers crossed and hope for the best. Like maybe when we get out of all this shit, everything will be completely different, which would be good for all the New York fans.
Yeah, definitely. But something that contributed to it as well. Have you ever seen a TV show called The League?
I watched the first couple seasons of The League and then just like stopped cold turkey. I don't know why. It's a fucking hilarious show, dude. It's so good.
I am literally the only British person I know that's ever sat down and watched that, but I think I've watched it 3 times over. I love it. And
hilarious. And like that's how we all know, like I'm sure you guys have fantasy leagues for your sports out there. It's just like that's how it is. Like it's like in the first season when what's his name is like one lawyer and the other guy is like the defendant. He's like, I'll
Yeah.
let your guy go if you give me Adrian Peterson. Like
Yeah.
maybe not to that extent, but like it's kind of like that in real life.
Yeah. No, definitely. I love that show, and there's so many like football players that appear on the show as well, so that helped me get into it, I think, a bit more. But yeah, I love that. But the next question, so if you could pick anywhere in the world for your next holiday or your next like trip, where would you go?
I mean, cooking, since I've been like cooking for a while and like I've always done like Italian food, like Rome would always be has always been on the top of my list to go to, because like I kind of want to like spend some time in Italy and like learn the food and like work there for a little while. Like if I could do 2 months in Italy, like, or in Rome, that would be like the coolest, like super ideal spot for me. But like I always wanted to go to Greece. Greece always looked like it was super sick. Anywhere, man, but like Rome is definitely at the top of my list.
No, that's a good answer, man. And in terms of like going to Italy for, say, food tourism, I think Rome, I don't know if Rome's actually that good, but like an hour or so north of Rome, you've got Florence.
Right.
And everyone I know that's been there said they've eaten the most incredible food they've ever had. So
yeah, one of my chefs worked in Bergamo for a while, and like he
okay.
met his wife. So like I would love to go to Bergamo too. It seems to be like a good spot to like learn a lot.
Yeah.
So Bergamo would be cool. Like Sicily will always be cool because like of all the shit that's there. Anywhere in Italy would be dope. Like I wouldn't be picky if someone was like, "Well, you're gonna go here." I wouldn't be like, "Wait, man, cancel that. I want to go to this place instead."
Yeah.
Anywhere in Italy would be super sick to go and check out and like kind of eat and learn and stuff.
No, I like that, man. And where's your favorite place that you've been so far?
As far as overseas or just in general?
Just in general.
I mean, I've only been out of the country to go to like Toronto to battle. Um, Toronto's great. It's really dope, but like, I'm living in Philly now, man, and I really love it here. It's like cheap to live. Like New York's great. Obviously, there's a bunch of shit in New York, but it's just cheap here. Like I'm on my own here in Philly, and being able to like work 5 days a week, but like still have money to go out and like afford all my bills and never be like kind of in the shits over here is pretty sweet. I definitely recommend Philly to anyone visiting the States.
Yeah. I like I said earlier, I've never been to America, but like for me, I'm desperate to come over. I nearly booked it for my girlfriend's 21st birthday.
Mhm.
And then leading up to it, I found out that she actually has absolutely no interest in going to America, which was a bit of a wounder. So we ended up just going to Amsterdam instead. But she she's interested, but she's more interested in going to like South America and Asia and places like that first.
Right.
Which I do understand because culturally, I don't think America's massively different to the UK in that sense. But we got Thailand out of the way last summer. We went over there for 6 weeks or so. So that was, hopefully I can persuade her to come to America with me soon. But like for me with America, the only kind of like to people from the UK, if they're coming to America for a holiday, they either go New York,
Mm-hmm.
LA, or
Right.
like Miami or like Orlando and Florida and
Right.
stuff. And to me, New York interests me, but or they go to Vegas.
Vegas is stupid. There's no need to go to Vegas.
No, Vegas, Florida do not interest me in the fucking slightest. But like,
When you're fucking 80 and retired, you can go to Florida.
yeah, it just looks so like, I don't know, it just looks cringy and weird. I just don't fancy it.
Dude, like Manhattan, like New York City's cool for a couple days. I've never been to LA. I went to California when I was way younger. and it seems cool. But like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff like that are not major cities that you would want to check out. Like, I think New York is cool to check out. If you're gonna go like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, catch a Monday flight back home, it's probably great. It's great. But like, there's other cities that are popping up. Like Philly is popping up. Like Denver is popping up. Texas, like Austin or Dallas, like stuff like that, just like keeps growing and getting bigger. So I think that if you're like in the know, there's other places to go in America that are not those 3 or 4 big places, you know?
Yeah, so for me, I would like to go to New York. I want to go to Philly. I want to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans is another great one.
I want to go to Minneapolis, but mainly just because I went backpacking around Europe like 6 years ago and met like a group of people from Minneapolis, and they've now opened like a microbrewery and like a bar and stuff. So I'd love to go and just party kind of thing. But
get fucked up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but Chicago, I'd really like to go to.
Chicago's another one. I really want to go to Chicago too.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm just desperate to get over there, full stop, to be honest. But hopefully that'll happen soon.
It's funny that like you're dying to come to America and your girlfriend wants to go to like all those other places, and most people in America want to go to those other places that she's been talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I want to go to those other places as well. So I want to travel the world kind of thing. But it's just for me, like growing up, everything that I was kind of obsessed with was coming from the States. Like, always been obsessed with hip hop music. I've always been into like movies and stuff that were all coming from the States. It'd just be cool to experience it. But
it is definitely cool to see. And like New York City is like the coolest city in the world, where it is very cool to see what's going on and like kind of just walk through it and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Just don't live.
No, I have heard it's I mean, I couldn't handle living in London. London's just way too hectic for me. And
right.
I mean, New York, I don't know what the difference in population is between London and New York, but I'm guessing it's big.
Yeah. Yeah, New York is a crazy fucking place.
Yeah, it looks it. So like, I'm just trying to Google it now. So New York has 8.5 million people. Oh shit, I think it's pretty similar to London then.
But how big is London compared to New York?
So it probably takes about an hour and a bit to get from one side of London to the other. Right, so yeah, New York is 8.5 million, whereas London is 8.9.
Oh, there's more people in London.
I did not know that, but
I wouldn't have guessed that either.
But yeah, London's far too hectic for me, so I couldn't even handle that. But yeah, New York just looks fucking mental.
Yeah, but London's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, London is huge, but
yeah, so London's 138 square miles bigger than New York.
Oh shit! Okay, that does make sense then. But I didn't realize it was that much bigger, to be honest. But Jack Casserole was saying, because he's from Connecticut, he was saying that if he's driving to an event in Staten Island, it will take him an hour and a half less time than it would to drive to an event in Brooklyn.
Yeah, because he has to drive through Manhattan, which is the fucking traffic capital of America. You know, like he would, if you go from Connecticut to Staten Island, you can kind of ride the outskirts of Manhattan south. But if he needs to go to Brooklyn, he has to drive kind of through Manhattan.
Right.
You know, so he has, and like most events in Brooklyn are more towards the east. So he would have to drive through Manhattan, then through Brooklyn, which with no highway, which it doesn't sound worse, but it's a lot faster to go from through Manhattan straight to Staten Island and stay on the one expressway instead of cut across and then.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then apart from that, so the final question, this one, it's brought up some absolute dog shit answers, but
let's do it.
You can pick one sweet and one savory, but what is the go-to snack or like the go-to munches?
Dude, that's hard. The go-to snack? Damn, I feel like I don't know, man. Go-to sweet snack is going to be Oreos and milk, because why fuck with it? It's classic. And then the go-to savory snack. So with like a chip or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, this is not okay. So for sweet, we're doing double stuffed Oreos and milk, straight like that. And for savory, we're gonna do an Arnold Palmer iced tea with sour cream and cheddar ruffle chips, and that's it. Easy.
I like it. No, it's a good answer. I feel a bit bad now because whenever I've had a bad answer, I've just bitched about that person to everybody I've spoken to after. But
dude, who sucks?
LSD went with chocolate-coated raisins.
Ew! What the fuck?
Yeah. And then, I don't know if you guys will know what this is, but do you have something in the States called Marmite?
I don't think so. I'll look it up, though. Marmite?
Or do you have, what's similar? Do you have Bovril?
Oh, this is, fuck, what's this other? I know what this is. There's a brand out here that's like kind of, this is Australian, right? Marmite?
I think it's German.
Ew, this is like, I can't think of the name of it. There used to be a poster of it at this old restaurant I used to work at. Damn. Yeah, no, I would not eat this. And I would definitely not call Vegemite. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, okay, yeah, very similar.
Yeah, no, I would not eat that. And I would definitely not call it the best snack in the world.
Well, basically, there's this like, they're not really chips. They're more like pretzels texture-wise, but like really thin, like sticks, essentially. They're called Twiglets.
Oh.
And they're Marmite flavour. And oh my God, they're the worst fucking thing in the world. But somebody said those and I nearly cut them off.
Where is that person from that said that?
He's from London, but lives in Germany, in Berlin.
He's a fucking idiot, whoever he is.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed, but...
Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't... No.
And then someone the other day tried telling me that peanut butter jelly sandwiches were the best thing in the world, and I was like, no, they are fucking not.
They're probably hurting financially. That sounds like something like I'm waiting for my check. So I'm eating a bunch. I've convinced myself that it's actually good.
Yeah, no, thank you, not for me. But you enjoy your cheap, nasty sandwiches.
Your fucking disgusting, poor sandwich. No.
But one thing that I've got to ask in terms of food and Philly is a Philly cheesesteak what it's made out to be.
Okay, yes, it is, but you have to get it from the right place. Like, if you ever watch like a Philly, if you ever watch like the Travel Channel where they go to Philadelphia and they tell you to go to Pat's and Gino's, like, don't go to Pat's and Gino's. Like, you have to go to you have to know the spot. You know, like, I've eaten a cheesesteak at like some shitty hole in the wall, and it was 20 times better than what the TV will tell you or what Google will tell you.
Right. Okay. Nice. And I don't know if you've ever seen Fuck That's Delicious with Action Bronson.
I've watched a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, like I got really into that, so I've seen most of those. And there's an episode where he goes to some like sandwich shop in Philly and gets like
He goes to Angelo's, right?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Dude, I think he goes. Angelo's is literally the best sandwich shop in Philadelphia. I don't love the way that Action Bronson uses his like food persona to like get popular and stuff because he was not a chef. He was some dumbass that worked for his dad, but whatever, that's another story. He knows his spots. And like he goes to Angelo's. He goes to some place I used to work at too. I think he goes to Kafar, which is another whatever. He goes to another restaurant I used to work at. But yeah, he goes to Angelo's and gets sandwiches, and Angelo's is the truth. Like whenever people come to Philly, I take them there. Because like it's the best place in the fucking city.
Yeah, he has this like fucking lasagna sandwich or something, and it looks like the best thing in the world.
Dude, it's so fucking good. Angelo's is the shit. Yeah, that place is incredible. Like that's actually when all this is over, I've said to my friends, that's the first place I'm going when going outside is okay again, is I'm running to Angelo's and getting a sandwich.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan, man. I'm jealous, but we
The move.
we have a place here in Cardiff called New York Deli that does like proper hoagies and stuff, which was pretty revolutionary over here. I'd never seen anything like that, and that's amazing. But yeah, I'd love to test Angelo's out at some point anyway.
Well, dude, like that's like the battle rap move I'm trying to make is like get all these away games so that I can go and just eat, you know, the best like eat at the best places in each city or state or wherever I'm at, and then like that's kind of the move for what I want.
I like it. Yeah, I like it, man. Definitely. I'd love to do that as well. But apart from that, man, that is the questions pretty much done. But you don't make music or anything like that, do you?
Nah, I don't. No.
No.
No. If there's a chance to plug music, I'll just plug Eddie's music instead of what I don't have. So go check out Eddie I on iTunes and Spotify and whatever else, SoundCloud and whatever else music stuff happens. Go look at Eddie I's stuff, man. That's way better than anything I can come up with.
No, I second that. It's great stuff. And but mate, apart from that, it's been really great to have you on. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on, man. But
It's been fun, man. It's cool to get to talk some shit and you know, get your opinions out there and stuff. It's fun.
yeah, man, definitely. But I'll include you're on Twitter and stuff like that, right?
I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Facebook and Instagram only.
Ah, okay, no worries. But
with all this shit that's going on, maybe I'll make a fucking Twitter just to kill some time.
yeah, it's a good shout, man. But yeah, mate, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and hopefully get to chop it up at an iBattle event towards the end of the year.
Maybe if there's ever an iBattle versus Premier and I get on that card, I'll come out. I'll come to you instead.
Yeah, definitely, man. That would be amazing. But yeah, thank you again for your time, man. And I hope you stay safe over there.
You too, man. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.